All right, you guys remember where we left off?
We almost died and we broke the
Oh,
bridge.
yeah.
Yeah.
A bunch of zombies fell in the water,
Yep.
and then we had to run back
All right, so
over the
you
bridge
guys
to rest.
remember pretty
Kobe
well.
left me again.
So everyone that's watching the stream, the bridge on the right side of the screen, do not pay attention to that. It does not exist. It's fallen into the water below. Harper, the pet dog of the ranger Wilfred, was barely rescued by a valiant effort by all of you guys, and he's been pulled back up. And you guys are taking a moment to kind of catch your breath, and you look at Wilfred and Harper, and they look pretty beat up. They haven't, like, Wilfred's been staying out of combat as much as he can and just trying to help you guys pick off people with the bow and kind of just do his commands through Harper, but they're looking really exhausted and wore down. You can tell that they're not really used to this level of combat. Like the pirate raids that they would go on, mostly they would either outnumber their foes or they're just going on like basic cargo missions. So they look really rough, and you guys are taking a minute, and if you want to take a short rest, I don't know if any of you have already done your hit die and all that stuff, but you can go ahead and do that.
I think we already did that.
Did you do it last time?
Yeah, I think I
Yeah.
remember saying specifically I wanted to do it beforehand.
Yeah,
Cool.
Yeah, yeah.
because my life is up.
Yeah.
Right on. Well, if you guys are ready, if you want to take a moment to catch up or talk to anyone, Wilfred is standing there, and you can just tell that he is like, he's kind of like propping himself up on his bow that's kind of propped up on the floor, and Harper is just leaned up against the wall next to him, sitting on the floor and just panting heavily.
Leum. Is there a way we can cross the bridge now?
You can try. Yeah, the bridge does not exist anymore, so it's just the big gap, like the 15-foot gap over the water. But you can try whatever you want.
Is there not an alternative path? I'm asking the huntsman.
Oh, so he's just standing there, and he says, well, we can head towards Hicks's chamber, which is back to the way that we came, or we can go and check out the shipping room, which is where the bridge fell and collapsed. I would imagine that the doors ahead of us also head towards Hicks's chamber, but I can't see a way to get through them unless you guys can figure out a way to do that. So it's up to you.
What shall we do to you?
I think we should continue the way we're going. Just have to find a way across the gap that's safe enough for the dog.
Chad can throw everyone across.
Good.
I want to try the water path with the spike on our left.
When you
Oh, yeah, I
say
forgot
that,
about that.
Wilfred says that I'm fairly certain goes directly to Hicks's chamber. So if that's what you guys are looking for, it's probably a good idea to try to find him and talk to him.
Yeah, before he got killed by a zombie. Because I need to kill him first.
I have a feeling this way is actually just a way out, to be completely honest. If you think about where you would store things and get them in here, they'd probably come in a side entrance.
Wilfred speaks up at that, and he says, I've worked shipping detail a couple times, and it's mostly just a storeroom that's connected to the water pathways in here. And
Right.
it heads out back the way that you all sound like you came in through the water caves. The only other way out of this cave system is through the very back to the north of us now, which north in meta speak is like up.
Yeah.
You know what they store in storerooms? Trophies. And you know what Chad hasn't got a trophy for? The pit.
That's true.
Chad wants some goodies. Chad starts to billow his cape
Nice. So Wilfred just says, "All right, guys. After you, we're getting exhausted here. We're not going to make it too much longer. We got to get a move on."
Yeah, I'm gonna go to the left. What is water path? Maybe it come back to the warehouse, from the up.
Wilfred says, "Yeah, these caves are pretty windy, and I don't even know all of them."
I think we should all go one place together. If we split up, it might end up being really bad.
It worked for us before.
I'm sorry, say it again, Goldo.
It worked for us before.
But if you end up fighting Hicks, then that might be bad.
And let's go to the water path.
All right, Wilfred
Onward, friends.
kind of steps up and says, "All right, let's head that way." I agree. And good call on not splitting up. I think that's dangerous. And he kind of heads off and says, "Watch out for the trap again." And you all head off back towards the way that you came.
Do you know the tale of Scooby-Doo and his gang? They always split up,
And they always almost die.
but they never
I'm not
do.
familiar with this tale.
Yeah, Wilfred says, "Please, Bard, if you are familiar, regale me with the tale of what did you call it?"
Scooby-Doo.
I would love to hear
It
a
was a
story. Maybe it
one.
will lighten our spirits.
Sure, there's once a tale of five
Hey,
people.
Lich, welcome to
One
the stream,
dog
buddy.
and 4 humans.
Ah,
And the dog could speak, not much unlike Harper. And Harper and Wilfred will split up all the time. And Harper and Wilfred will run into ghosts and monsters all the time. And if it was real life, Harper and Wilfred would probably die. But this is not real life. We're okay.
Wilfred
okay.
says, "I don't much care for that story, but thank you for your talents. They're much appreciated." And he kind of leads you guys back to the pathway with the door that leads up. He takes a step back and he says, "If you don't mind, after you."
What, are you afraid? Come on now.
He says, "Absolutely."
Don't know the swim.
What you do it for a Scooby snack?
He says, "How about 2 Scooby snacks?"
Make it 3.
He says, "No, you guys go ahead."
We'll
All
do
right,
swim
chicken.
across.
Okay.
I'll take a swim as well.
All right, you guys head over towards the door and you swim above. And as you swim across, you notice that it's pretty deep. You can tell the water's kind of already about to your chest level. One second.
No. That means I'm
Flim,
submerged.
thank you so much for the raid, man. I really appreciate it. Welcome, everyone. So you notice the water's about to your chest level, and you're just swimming across, and you're not submerged. There's some steps down into the water, so you didn't just walk underwater. You just got in and swam across, and you're just treading water. And as you swim across, you swim over the exposed spike trap that you can see. You can see these giant mechanical doors on hinges that go back into the cave wall, and you can't see where the mechanics kind of come from. The doors are just open and swinging down into the spike pit in the bottom, and it's probably 15 or 20 feet down into the water, and the color kind of fades as the light is not able to reach the bottom of the spike pit, and you can just see the metallic spikes creeping up from the bottom as you swim across. And Wilfred and Harper will join you, and Harper is pretty good at swimming and just kind of treads water with you guys. And you all get across to the giant stone set of sliding doors, much like the ones that you've come across in the previous parts of the dungeon, and you're all standing or swimming in front of the door.
It was what do you say, thing to pull, right?
Lever, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I pulled the lever then.
Okay, just 1 second. Darrow's IRL door is ringing, so he's got to step away for a second. We'll take a quick break.
Chad,
What's up?
when are
Hey,
you
Puncher,
gonna
welcome,
become
man.
an
How you doing?
adult dragon?
When I've defeated all other
Thank you for the
100
raid, Flynn.
worthy dragon, I'm sorry, 99, and then I become the only one left standing, I'll absorb all of their souls and become the Chadliest.
Then you go big and you get wings, right?
Yes. Then I'll become a true dragon, like in the stories.
Glad to hear it, V Puncher.
Nice.
A true dragon.
Could I still climb you?
Only if you steal gold from me, because I like my gems, if you know what I mean.
Sure.
All
I don't need them all, just like a cut, you know.
right,
a modest cut.
welcome back, Darrow.
I give him 1 piece of gold.
All right, you gave Chad 1 piece of gold.
Perfect.
So you guys
I
have
swallow it all.
swum across the
There
little
is a stuff.
chasm here, and you're all kind of just circling and treading water in front of this door, and you get over to the other side, and you see the big mechanical lever in front of the pair of sliding doors.
Hit it, Goldo.
I hit it.
Do you hit it, or are you going to try to pull it?
I pull it.
Okay. So you pull on this lever, and you have a hand hold on this lever, and you grab it, and as soon as you pull on it, the water just quickly starts draining from this pool that you're all swimming in, and it pulls everyone except for Goldu down into the spike pit. And you're just rushing like a drain, and it's like a whirlpool, and you're all pulled into this pit, and the doors, they're just like sucking in water, and the water's draining to the bottom of the spike pit. And I need all of you who got pulled in to make a dexterity saving throw.
I have a danger sense, so I get advantage on dexterity saving throws against effects that I can't see, such as traps or spells. Does this
Nice.
count?
It does not, because you definitely saw this one.
Okay.
Oof.
That's a 2 from Darrow, a 10 from Chad, and let me roll for Harper and Wilfred really quickly. No. All right, Harper is the only one who somehow narrowly avoided a spike, and everyone else is going to take 1d8 damage. 1 second here.
Damn.
Darrow, take 4 damage. Chad, take 1. And Wilfred will take 3. You all are sucked into this vortex and slammed into the bottom of these spikes, and they graze off of you. Luckily, nobody is like fully impaled on these spikes. And Goldu, you are holding on to the lever. The water has drained out, and the water like levels itself off, and it's kind of just halfway up this this pit that you're all in. And you're all kind of just like, you've caught yourself, and you have kind of avoided the spikes now, and you're all just like floating in this pit full of spikes. And you all notice another lever inside the pit on the wall where you're all floating by.
I'm not
Did the
touching that.
door open, by the way?
No, the door that's in front of where you all were, that you're trying to go through, has not opened.
Damn.
I'm not
Are you
touching
guys okay?
No, not really.
The door is still closed.
Hey, I think I see a lever. Chad
Pull
pulls the
it.
lever.
Oh my god.
All right. So Chad pulls the lever, and you can hear the door upstairs start to open. But as
You
that
did it.
as that
Trap door
happens,
shuts
the
around
the
us.
doors above you close, and the water starts
Oh,
to rise.
God. Chad!
And at this point, as the doors have closed, the light is totally gone, and you can hear Harper just like swimming in circles and like barking uncontrollably and freaking out. And Wilfred is trying to find him in the darkness and is flailing around and trying to call out to him and tell him to calm down. And I need both of you to make another dexterity saving throw.
Can I hear that? Or did I notice?
You can kind of hear it through the ground, like through the door. There's like a little bit of a crease in the door, and you can hear them just like flailing around crazy and like freaking out.
But can I see that the trapdoor is closed?
Yeah, it's now closed, and the water is like starting to rise up underneath them. And let's see, Chad, Wilfred is just like flailing around wildly, and he knocks you, and he kind of knocks you into another one of the spikes, and you take another 4 damage.
I want to die in this trap.
The water is rising and pushing you guys up. You're kind of floating above the spikes now, and the doors have closed above you. The lever that Chad pulled to activate all this is starting to become submerged.
What
Chad,
a masterful.
Pull it again, Chad! Pull it again!
Chad pulls the lever again.
The doors open and the water rushes back out and slams you back down onto the spikes. I need you all to make another dexterity saving throw.
They stuck.
$15 from Darrow. All right, was that for your most recent one, Chad?
Yeah.
Okay, you take another bit of damage here.
Poor Chad.
That's going to be another 3. All right, so you guys have you've sunk back down. The water's leveled itself out at about halfway up the pit of spikes, and you're all floating there again. And Harper has calmed down now that the doors have reopened and the light has returned into the chamber that you're in, and you're all just kind of floating there. And Goldu, you can see down there again.
We are facing a masterful piece of trap.
Of course you could say that, you jerk. You didn't even do anything the entire time.
I pulled the lever back up.
You don't know what happened.
Okay, you pull the lever back up, and the water begins to rise, and everyone floats back up, and they're floating back up in the chamber like you started.
I think we have to pull the lever down first.
I have an idea.
Do it.
We can hook some rope onto it.
Oh, and pull it from up.
Yeah, and as we come back up, we can kind of pull it.
Chad wants to make a perception check to see if he can just break one of these doors. Like, just jam it or something so they can't open all the way.
One of the like trapdoors from below.
Yeah, like one of like the things that like slide up and like close it completely. Like he's just trying to see if he's like can interrupt that in some way that someone could.
Roll a investigation check. These look like the strongest doors you've ever seen in your life.
Chad's got nothing, guys.
Nice job, Chad.
You kind of take a peek under the water, Chad, and you just see that the the hinges that are holding these doors and like that are swinging when the water changes and everything, they're kind of like built into the side of the wall, and they don't appear to be like you could actually do anything to them, you know?
We should try Darrow's plan.
My plan?
Yeah. I take my rope and I go tie it on the lever down the trap.
Okay, so you're gonna try to like dive down and tie some rope around the lever down there?
Yeah.
Okay, roll, that's probably gonna be just straight up athletics. So, yeah, roll an athletics check. Okay, you swim down and you tie some rope around the lever, and you're just kind of swimming around down there, and you've affixed it, and you have the other end of rope kind of just like curled up around your arm. What do you want to do now?
I swim back up.
Okay, you're back up on the surface with everyone else.
And I tell the other, come on, grab on something.
Grab onto something.
Yeah, when I put the lever down.
Doesn't
Maybe
this,
we die.
Can we just exit the room?
yeah, let's say
Can we do that?
you can just flip this. It'll close the door. It'll close this door. It'll
Does the
open that
rope is long enough for me to get out of the room?
door. It's 50 feet.
Yeah, then we go out and we pull.
Okay. Well, it won't open until you pull the rope. So I'm going to step off of the pit.
Okay, which way are you gonna swim?
Past Goldo.
Okay. And as you do that, Wilfred and Harper will kind of just swim following you as well.
Follow us, Chad.
Are you coming, Chad?
Yeah.
All right, you're all.
I pull.
All right, you pull on the rope, and the trapdoors swing up and close, and the main doors that you originally were trying to get through slide open, and all of the water kind of rushes out into the hallway and back towards the way you came and disperses.
We won.
Nicely done. You guys figured it
I
out.
lose my rope.
The the rope that you pulled or did that with has been jammed into the trap by the doors. If you want, you can sever it, and it will be half the length.
Oh, I do that then.
Okay, you've got about 25 feet of rope now. And you all step forward into the hall that has been exposed now. I am assuming you're going to step forward.
Yes.
I wanna roll
Onward to
for a
discover.
combat bandage as well.
What's that?
I want to roll for a combat bandage as well.
Yeah, go for it, man. 1d8.
Whoa.
Nice.
You got all
Let me
the
just
life you lost back.
Reveal everything here.
That's more than what I started with. No more combat bandages.
All right, so as you step out into this hallway that's been revealed now, you step out, and Wilfred says, "Okay, to the left here is Hicks's chamber. He's got to be that way." And you look down, and you can see some bloody footprints, like the ones that you were following in the forest. And Wilfred looks down and says, "Oh my God, that's Hicks's boot print." But there's only one. The other one is just like a exposed human footprint. And Harper starts kind of like smelling the blood trail to your left, and in front of you, you can see the rock path that you are following. Like the tunnel floor kind of ends in a rock face and just drops off and is like a little bit of a cliff with what looks to be in a giant open room in front of you, but you're a little bit too far away to see it for now. And to your right, the tunnel hallways continue.
Maybe we can go to the warehouse from the right side.
It's safer than no bridge.
Yeah, I mean, we could try.
Yeah.
Wilfred says, we might as well check everything out while we're here, just to make sure we don't get ambushed if we do decide to go down to Hicks's chamber.
Definitely not trying to follow
Good
the blood
point.
footprints. That's how Scooby-Doo in the game dies.
We have to learn from the fate of the Scooby Gang.
Well,
The
now I
tragic
don't want to.
fate of
I don't
Scooby
want
and the
to
gang.
hear the story anymore because you spoiled the ending.
It's not about the ending, it's about the travel.
It's the friend you make
I
on the
really
way.
I was just gonna say that, Golder. So you guys want to check anything out?
Yeah, I want to go to the right side and check.
Can
Okay.
you see ahead of us? It's just
If
a wall.
you step up, it's not a wall. It's like the floor turns into like a cliff and drops off, and you can see this big empty open chamber in front of you. But you haven't looked into it yet. It's kind of shadowy from far away.
I go do that.
You're gonna step up to the To the edge?
Yes.
Okay, you step up to the edge of this chamber, and in front of you is revealed this huge open room. And you can see it's full of the skeletons and zombies that you've been kind of battling your way through this this dungeon. And at the opposite end of the room, you can see what looks to be this big voodoo shaman type mage character that is chanting these strange words you've never heard before over this human body on an altar. And from across the room, you can see that this body is covered in finer linens than the normal pirates you've run into so far, and they have one leather boot on their feet, and they have been killed and lain across this altar, and the voodoo shaman is slamming this dagger into the body every couple of words in their chant, and the blood is just spraying all across the room, and you can see the blood is falling down the altar into this track and running out of the room behind the shaman. And all of the skeletons and zombies in the room are like just kind of weaving their head and bobbing to this chant, and they look to be entranced by this shaman character. And the drop off from the cliff face into this ritualistic looking room that has this huge pit of lava in front of it and these torch lit braziers all around, they have not noticed you yet, and they all seem to just be enthralled by this shaman's chanting.
Hey, there's some shit going on over here.
Damn.
Looks like a concert, to be honest. I don't like the music, but I want to come check it out.
I wanna see for myself.
Okay, you step up to the edge as well, and Wilfred is right behind you, and he looks in, and he just like goes ghost white, and is just like, what the hell is going on here, you guys? Oh my god. And he looks terrified, and Harper is like whimpering a little bit, seeing the sight of like these like undead creatures and just this vibe of whatever this ritualistic sacrifice is going on.
Damn, it really
down.
looked like a party.
It's pretty normal for Scooby in the game. You gotta relax, man. Ritualistic sacrifices is up our alley, dude.
Yeah. I saw worst.
Can I get a spell into there?
You can certainly try.
Well, you know what you can try? Try to push the shaman into the lava.
Pull him? I think that's a little too far.
He is
Shit.
He's about 50 feet away from you guys right now. As you look into the middle, you can see a floating skull kind of hovering in the area that the shaman is chanting, and the skull seems to be like surveying the room and watching over all of the other little underling skeletons and zombies in the room. And you see the skull has been bleached white, and it just is this pristine glowing skull, but it seems to be in the shape of a bit of a larger than normal human skull, and it has horns growing out of it.
What are these horns made of?
You make a perception check.
Will I do it too?
Anyone that's looking in here can, yeah? Chad, what are you doing while all this is seeming to unfold?
Chad's like inspecting the water on the right path.
Okay, so you're down here, and you come down and you notice that the water seems to just kind of end in a like dead end, and then the pathway continues on. The pathway continues on, and from what you can see, it seems to be the other side of that door that you guys could not get to from that broken pathway.
Nice find.
Maybe
with those perception checks, Darrow, you look up and you see the skull, and you think it kind of looks a little familiar, but you can't put your finger on it.
I don't know, go to that thing. Does it remind you of anything, dude? Like at all?
Hey, Luca, welcome to the stream.
He's lost.
Just like drooling on himself right now.
As you guys are talking about it, Wilfred takes a look in and checks out the skull as well. And he rolled a 1. And he's like, that's a skull, boys.
Yeah.
I just turn around and shoot him the dirtiest look ever.
He just kind of shrugs at you like, I tried.
Well,
Wanna go?
I think we should back up a bit in case the
Yeah.
Skull Daddy sees us.
Wilfred says, that's probably a good idea. That thing does not look nice. And if we go in there, I don't know if we'll be able to get back up that drop-off.
It's fair point, lover boy.
He just kind of looks quizzically at you. But he backs up back towards where you came in.
Yeah. Let's go to the left and...
Chad, what are you feeling?
Chad's gonna come around to meet up with everybody.
Okay. So you're all back
What
in
did you
the,
found, Chaddy?
back
Hey,
in
Chad,
the main
baby.
spot.
I wanna ask.
I found a bunch of water and then a path that I think leads to that other door that we couldn't open. But yeah, that's what I saw. What did you guys see?
Ritual like to sacrifice, nothing major. You know how that goes.
Wait, what?
A skeleton party. They have a disco ball, but it's not very shiny.
Yep, and it's kind of
Disco.
scary.
Scary disco.
It's a literal disco inferno.
They have good lighting though.
Chad
Fantastic.
doesn't like
Pretty hot,
fire.
though, I'm not gonna lie. You might not want to go there.
Chad hates the heat.
Yeah, it's not your type of party, my guy.
Chad's too cool.
Just keeps talking, Chad. 18. Chad's too cool.
We need
So-
to find the pirate and kill him.
Who?
The guy who crossovers. I don't remember his name.
Captain Hicks.
Jesus.
When you guys were talking about that, Wilfred says, "Yeah, well, I'm pretty sure those tracks are his. That leads to his private quarters. So
Is he missing
Very
a
nice.
foot?
that's where I would go.
Yeah, we found his boot on the forest, remember?
That's correct.
But where's his foot, though?
You
What?
just found the boot. You can see the footprints. There's one that's like a boot print, and one is like a bloody human footprint.
Ah, he must have stepped on some rocks, maybe.
Yeah,
Which means he's weak.
yeah. On what a victory!
Uh,
Will you dash?
You guys are so funny. Wilfred, he heads down the pathway, and you guys are gonna follow him, I guess.
I go
Go, go, go.
in
Chad,
front of
yeah.
him.
Goldie runs ahead. All right, everybody's following back. So you
Do
come
no follow.
down this hallway, and let me just reveal it all real quick.
Wowie. A corner, guys. Another door.
Oh, dude, Goldo, I just realized something. That guy
What?
doing the concert was that guy that shot me in the chest with the fireball.
What? Impossible.
Yeah.
I stole his clothes.
Yeah, he must have found another one. He must have had another one in the green room.
Damn. I need to steal it too.
You guys get down the hallway, and you get to another set of stone doors with a lever outside of them, and you see a bigger pool of blood right in front.
Taste it, Goldo. You're a
You
good tracker.
remember one of the tale of the Scooby Doo? There's
Stop with
always
Jell-O.
heat. If I pull the lever, I bleed.
So,
I tie the rope on the lever and I go back to the corner.
All right, you have rope around the door lever, and you're standing back.
Back away, guys. Back away. It's gonna
I'm gonna go
explode.
back to where the bloody footprints are because they gotta just stop right here.
All right, you guys all go back down the hallway, and Harper kind of just like stands and looks around the corner while you guys are doing this, and you guys are all good.
I pull the lever with the rope.
All right, you pull the lever, and the doors open.
I wanna do a investigation check.
Go ahead.
You're not fucking around with these doors no more.
Aye, aye, aye.
You, as the doors open, you can see the tunnel kind of goes around a corner, and you can see the ground turns into these wooden steps that lead up into what looks like a private chamber.
The way is clear. Go ahead, Huntsman.
No one believes you, Toto.
Wilfred comes in. He trusts that you said the way is clear, and he'll go ahead of you guys and walk up and check it out. And he goes up around the corner, and he says, "There doesn't seem to be anything in here." And then he gasps and just falls to his knees on the ground and stops talking.
Oh, well, yeah.
Go do gasp too. I
Chad,
can't
Daryl?
order.
Goder, why'd you gasp?
He died.
He
The
died.
last thing he had to do was give away our position.
You can see Goldio. You can see he's not dead. He's like fallen to his knees, and he just looks like he has this look of absolute terror on his face, and he's just not talking. He's just frozen in fear.
He's frozen in fear.
And Harper just kind of standing next to him, looking around, like
Chad's not convinced.
Harper doesn't know what's going on.
I walk up to the corner and peek around.
You see Wilfred's sitting there on his knees, terrified, and Harper's just kind of sitting next to him, just like panting.
He's probably just a coward.
I mean, we know he's a coward.
Yeah, that's true.
I think his heart's finally caught up to him. at this point.
I wanna stealth and peek to the corner on the wooden platform.
Okay, yeah, roll a stealth check.
Yep. Oh no, 12.
You are sneaking down the hallway, and you get up to the wooden steps that go around the corner. Do you want to proceed?
Yeah, I wanna peek to the corner and watch.
Okay, you peek around the corner, and you can look into the room. Looks like a small bedroom that you can, from what you can see, and you don't see anyone in there, but there's a huge pool of blood on the floor and filth and trash, and the room's been overturned. The bed, everything, all the coverings on the bed have been thrown off onto the floor. There's a bench that looks like a normal like sitting area in the room that's been overturned and thrown and smashed into the fireplace. And directly on the wall in front of you, nailed to the wall, is Hicks's face that's been sliced off of his head and nailed to the wall.
Damn it!
And
Someone kill him before us.
and
What'd you say?
Wilfred is like just like crying and like shaking at this point, and like looks at you and turns and just says, "What the hell is going on here? How is this
Tell your
happening?"
daughter come. It's safe.
I guess I go
What
on.
did you say, baby crying? Never saw a face ripped off and put on a wall?
This guy's the worst.
Chad and Darrow, Goldu calls back to you and says that the room is clear.
Alright,
Alright,
Chad
I'll
comes
cut now.
in. He's full force, comes in the middle of the room.
Charges in. All right, you guys are all in the room investigating now.
What? What in the holy?
And you can see the absolute just chaos, the garbage and entrails and giant pool of blood, and Hicks's face has been mounted on the wall, and it's just like roughly cut with like a serrated blade, and it's just been ripped off and like slapped on the wall and nailed on.
Someone got him before us, guys.
Got him. I mean, yeah. If you want to say that.
Disappointed. I wanted to scheme him myself.
I don't know about this guy anymore. He's talking about skinning people.
Oh, is there a chest here?
You can make a investigation check.
I did the 9.
Okay,
Is there
you
a chest here?
you look around the room, and even though you seem like you're a little distracted with the gore and filth in the room, you can see leaning in the corner is a wooden chest that appears to have taken some damage, like in the wreckage of the room while everything was getting thrown around. The chest has taken a blunt force hit to the top of it, and it's dented in a little bit, but it seems to mostly be intact. And leaned up against the chest behind it is this glowing, huge greatsword that just seems to be undisturbed by the chaos of the room.
I back out the room.
I opened the chest.
Darrow backs down the corner of the hallway. Goldie, you hop up on the bed in front of the chest and you open it up, and inside you see a little note, and you found, let me see, 1 second here. You found a medium-sized blue sapphire and a note.
Ayum. I take the sapphire and I read the note out loud.
Okay. The note seems to be hastily scrawled, and it's got some blood covering it. It's just like a single note page out of a journal that you can recognize as Hicks's journal that you kind of picked up earlier. And it's just hastily written and says, Phil, if this note gets to you, I've made a grave mistake. Rosiel was obviously in this for her own good the entire time, and not that it matters now, but the Lich wouldn't have taken her offerings in kind anyways. He wants nothing to do with any allies. He's more powerful than we ever could have known. This is not going to go well. Gather the men and get back to the ship as quickly as possible. If you find this note, it's far too late, and I wish you the best. They're after me, and it's just signed quickly, and there's blood and dirt all over the page, and it's just thrown into the chest where you found it, and there's the medium blue sapphire that was sitting on top of it.
This is like the third bloody note we found.
Yeah, where is Phil?
When you say that, Wilfred says, I haven't seen him in a while. I think he was headed back to the ship already towards the back of the caves. So, with what we just saw, who the hell knows what could have happened to him?
Yeah, that's true.
Can I run an investigation on, like, his body, I guess?
His face, you mean?
Yeah, you come back into the room and you can make an investigation check. With that too, you look down and you see some blood and some guts, and you see a face on the wall, and you see a sword in the corner, and that's what you see.
The sword got upset and murdered them in the middle of the night and skinned them alive. That's what I see, guys. I don't know about you guys, but that's a clear-cut description of this case. Case closed, gang. Let's go.
A powerful revenge glowing sword? This can't be cursed. Chad picks it up.
I back out the room.
Darrow sees Chad lunging for the sword and just runs down the hallway. And Chad, you pick up this great sword, and as you lift it up, you feel this like kind of power surge through you a little bit. And it feels like as soon as you pick it up, it looked like it was like maybe a little bit shorter than you would prefer in like a dragon-sized greatsword. And as you pick it up, it feels like it almost like melds into your hand a little bit. And as soon as you are holding it, it doesn't feel short anymore. And it feels like, wow, this is like the perfectly weighted greatsword. And it feels like the hilt is like perfectly sized for your hands, and it just feels like super comfortable. And it's lighter than your regular greatsword, but it seems like the material that it's made out of is just like this bringing off its own like almost like moonlight glow, and it's just shimmering and seems like it's extremely high quality, and you feel this power coming out of it, and it's super comfortable in your hand.
Check for magic, Chad.
Damn.
Chad knows it's good.
Check for magic, though. I don't want that around me.
Chad does no checks.
Any of you guys can try to check it out if you want. That's just like your regular Arcana check.
Oh, to slap it out of his hand and check for magic.
All right, make a strength check, and Chad, you're gonna oppose that strength check.
I think his modifiers are more than that.
Chad, what are you doing?
And
Stop
then
slapping me.
Darrow, make an Arcana check as well. All right, so you go to slap the sword out of Chad's hand, and he pulls it away, and it kind of shimmers in the light. And as you check it over, you can't tell what exactly is going on with it, but you certainly can tell that it's got some sort of like magical aura, if nothing else. And it seems like there's something special about it, but you wouldn't have any idea what it was unless it was identified.
Can I cast Identify as a ritual so I don't have to use a spell slot?
Do you have ritual casting?
Everything I do is ritual cast.
That's not true.
Yeah, as a bard.
Hang on 1 second.
Let me take the sword.
Ritual casting, you can cast any spell you know as a ritual. So what that means, a ritual is a spell that takes longer to cast. Like if it's a spell that casts in one action, a ritual means that you can cast it in like 10 minutes instead. But it doesn't cost a spell slot. So
guess what? Identifies a ritual.
Very nice. You can do that. So you can take 10 minutes and sit down and try to do that. Trish, thank you so much for the 1,000 bits. Big hype. Oh my goodness.
Chad, bring me this one.
Thank you.
I shall tell you what it's like.
Chad's
Much
gonna sit
appreciated,
on the whole
man.
bench to himself while this whole thing happens.
You're gonna do what?
He's just gonna like lay across the bench.
Okay. So you just kind of sprawl out on the bench and you're just chilling, thinking about your
Ooh.
awesome sword. And Darrow, you come in and you kind of like set up. How do you perform your rituals when you cast them? Like, what do you kind of? This is like a more complicated. Like, this is a you set up and you take time to really get involved in this spell. And as a musician and a bard, like, what is your personal ritual for casting this spell?
So ritual casting is a little different from my usual forte, so I'm gonna need everybody to come into the room. Wilbert, Wilfred.
He says, "I like Wilbert."
Will it is happening?
Dodo, can you hop off the bed, please? It's very important
I
that
need
you
to
remain
try
still.
to take the face of the wood.
Don't touch anything, Goldo. Just sit down.
Goldu, you rip the face off the wall, and the nails kind of drag along it and kind of rip more jagged cuts into the face. But you have Hicks's face like a
Weird.
disgusting like slab of flesh in your hand.
Nice.
All right, everyone's in the room, and Darrow, how do you begin your ritual?
I sit down and go cross-legged, pull
Okay.
out my little drum I have,
Makes sense.
and I close my eyes and I start to chant, "Ho, whoa, whoa."
And you have the sword like laid out in front of you, I'm assuming.
Exactly.
Okay, you
And I'm beating rhythmically on my drum.
you begin to identify the sword and call upon your like bardic powers and your past knowledge and your magical abilities, and the glow on this sword just begins to like illuminate the whole room, and the whole room is just washed over with this green glow, and it's all you guys can see in there. And then when the glow dies back down, there's these runes now written and illuminated on the sword, and you can't really make them out, but as you do it, the sword just floats up, and it floats towards Chad's hand.
I guess the sword likes you, Chad.
It's
You.
mine.
Chad, you grab this great sword, and the runes illuminate, and they kind of pierce into your mind, and the identify spell like empowered this sword with the like slight bit of magic it needed to fully recharge itself, and like it kind of gives you its own presence, and you now know that this sword is the Elder Steel, and it's a rare magical weapon that is a +1 greatsword, and it has other abilities that you can't discern yet, but it is a magical weapon that it's a +1. So anytime you roll to hit or roll damage with this thing, you will add +1 to that on top of all your other abilities.
Hell
Very
yeah.
nice.
And it's a regular greatsword, so it's two-hand or whatever, like just like your normal deal.
Sweet.
Nice, Chad.
There you go.
I congratulate Chad.
Still not convinced he didn't murder this guy in the middle of the night, but
Chad billows his cloak and puts the sword on his shoulder.
And you look like the Chadliest Chad you've ever seen.
Chad,
I clap.
Chaddington.
All right, now onwards. I don't know why the hell we were sitting here for 10 minutes. Let's get the hell out of here.
Wilfred pipes up and says, "Damn, that was awesome. I like that cloak." And then he says, "But I agree. Let's get the hell out of here. This is a creepy ass little room." And he
my legs are tired.
he kind of like walks out, and he grabs your hand as he walks past and kind of pulls you up.
Thank you, friend.
Hmm.
I'll hate you a little less today.
Where shall we go then, team?
By the way, Godo, I need you to take that face back. You can't walk around with that. Come on now, it's disgusting. It's attracting animals. As the dog looks at the face, is ready to gnaw it off.
I put the face on my face as a mask.
All just moving Godo.
I'm on a roll to scare him.
Wilfred immediately just pukes all over the floor and is absolutely horrified and disgusted by you, and is like screaming at you to like knock it off.
How do I check a roll for scaring?
Performance.
Performance. 19, baby.
Yeah, you didn't even have to roll. You scared everybody a lot. Harper
And I
takes
keep
off
the
running
mask on.
down the hall and is out of sight.
And I follow him.
Right,
And then behind him.
Goldie chases Harper down the hall, and Harper just keeps on running, and actually you hear him run out of eyesight of all of you, and he makes a big yelp.
He's dead.
He become tick, do you see?
He makes a big yelp, and you hear him thud.
Oh god, he's dead.
Can I see him?
Wilfred is running in front of you guys now, and he's like, "Oh my god, what the hell have you done?" And he's running off after Harper.
I follow.
Chad, Darrow?
I'm like barely containing a laugh at this point.
Chad, are you right behind as well?
Yeah, I'm sprinting.
Okay, you guys are all running after this crazy nonsense, and you get up, and as you get up here, you see that Wilfred has already been standing up here, and sees that Harper has fallen down and took a little bit of a tumble, and he took some damage, and he's like just laying still, and some of the skeletons have noticed and have moved towards him. And as you get to this edge, Wilfred fires off a shot at this closest skeleton and hits him, and he reels back a little bit, and this floating skull kind of like opens its like bony mouth and clacks its teeth together, and this flame shoots out of the back of the skull, and it kind of like propels itself across the lava to you guys. And the shaman that's been chanting looks up from its chant and kind of stops, and its eyes come back to like being in the real world for a second, and it looks at you very strangely, and it just kind of smiles and turns around and runs back into the hallway, following the trail of blood that's been leaking out of this body, and it disappears back into the background. And
Astro's running again.
there you go.
What?
That'll be initiative.
Hell yeah.
Oh, bye.
20. A couple of 20s. Oh,
You.
everybody rolled a 20. Very nice. Wilfred rolls a 3, of course. And Harper a 14. Okay. So that'll be up to you guys. You can choose which order you want to go in since you all rolled a 20. Very nice.
We
I
can do the
plan-
order.
I plan
From
to
the
knock one of those skeletons into the lava.
We can do like Daryl, me, and Chad from
Yeah,
the.
I'm fine with rolling order.
Yeah, let's go. Attack Daru, kill them all! I say
I-
we're still having the face of the dude on my.
Can I jump down next to like on top of Doggy?
You can get next to him.
Next to it and walk on, yeah.
Okay, make a. Well, actually, I think you can just climb down, and it's about a 15-foot climb, so that'll just take all your movement for the turn.
That's fine.
Okay, yeah, you're down.
Then I cast Thunder Wave.
Like in the direction of the spider or the skeleton in front of you, like that.
Yep, directly in front of me.
Cool. All right. That's a con saving throw, correct?
Yes, sir.
He failed.
11.
Nice.
All right. This and they're knocked back 10 feet, right, or 5 feet?
10.
Okay. He's knocked back into the corner, and seems to be rattled, and he took a little bit of damage from Wilfred's arrow.
Oh no,
and...
my bad. I didn't mean that skeleton. I meant the one directly in front of me.
Oh,
As
okay,
we're
okay.
facing. I'm sorry.
They are down on the ground, so I don't know how that works. I guess it'll work just fine. It's not going to hit the floating skull. He's just
Yeah,
like
that's fine.
floating in the air. So if you're gonna cast it on the ground, I don't know if you guys can see very well on the map, but that's like down another level from you guys.
I see what you're saying.
If that changes your mind at all, that's
Yeah, I'll go ahead and black the other guy. Yeah, then.
okay. So he gets shot back into the corner, and
Yeah, that's fine.
he's rattled a little bit. A couple of his bones from his bottom half of his body fall off, and he's just kind of stumbling around. Now it is Goldu. Hey, Sausage, welcome to the stream, buddy.
I wanna try to steal.
Sure.
19.
Cool. Yeah.
Then I wanna jump down. Take my movement action, right?
Yeah. So it's gonna take you 5 feet to get to the edge here, and then I would allow you to like maybe climb down and hop down into like this spot.
Yeah.
And that would take all your movement.
Nice.
Okay.
Halfling bud.
Can I do my cunning action for jumping down again?
To dash and like move again.
Yeah, going back down one level.
Right to there.
Yeah.
Yep. That's where you
Nice.
are. Hey, Butchie, welcome to the stream.
Oh, nice. Then I what?
D&D night, hell yeah. What are you gonna do now?
I stay in the shadow and I wait.
Okay, you are sneaking around, and as you do that, you can see the floating skull is still heading towards you guys, and it's surveying the room, and it kind of looks itself down towards you, and then continues its slow float across the room, and it's Chad's turn.
Yo, Chad, it's time to be a man. And Chad's gonna go push Wilfred over the edge.
Okay, make a strength check, please.
What a Chad.
Pretty sure he just committed murder.
1 second.
Nice.
You push Wilfred, and he kind of steps out of the way last moment and contests that, but he steps to the right and barely dodges you and does not fall off the cliff.
Alright, well then I'm just gonna slide down.
Okay. You can also go to the other side of the dog there, and that will take your movement for the turn.
Sure, that's it.
Okay. After everyone has gone, Harper will take his turn, and he has appeared to have broken a leg and is unable to move and is just kind of whimpering there, and passes his turn, I suppose you would say. The one of the skeletons on the far side of the wall has procured a crossbow and takes a shot at Chad, and he hits. And let's see, 1 second here. That's going to be 6 damage.
Damn.
Hey, random British dude,
All right.
welcome. The skull that's been floating across kind of stops where it is, and it's going to fire a blast of fire directly at Goldu, who it has now noticed. What's your AC, Goldu?
15.
Okay, the fire blast goes and hits the staircase right behind you and singes into it and kind of melts the, like, what looks to be like a stone floor. It starts to melt away a little bit.
You.
The skeleton directly in front of Goldu that's been enthralled by the shaman's motions this whole time spins around, and it's going to take a step forward and try to take a big cleave at Goldu. Khan, welcome to the stream. It's going to miss as well and just kind of fall over itself, taking that cleave. The skeleton that was next to it will attempt to just try to hurriedly run up the steps, and it will try to dash at you guys, and it gets to about right there. And then Wilfred will reposition himself and take a shot at the floating skull.
Smart man.
And he misses it, and the arrow goes careening off and hits the wall and then falls into the lava.
Garbage.
The final skeleton makes its crawl back over to Darrow and tries to take a swipe at you with its bony claws. And it misses.
Garbage.
So it's back to Darrow.
I switch to my fancy rip here and poke at it.
Okay, at the skeleton right next to you?
Yes, sir.
Okay, go for it.
Alright, never mind.
You slam your sword into the stairs and it bounces off and it kind of shakes you.
It's new. It's new. I promise I'll get it next time. It's new.
Goldu?
Yep. I attacked the guy in front of me.
The axe guy?
Yep.
Go for it. Big hit. All right. And his AC is 15. So you hit.
1d6 plus for 8.
Cool. Yeah, you swipe at him and you pierce through the leather armor and you take a chunk out of one of the bones and it kind of makes a little bit of his rib cage fall apart and he seems to be a little bit weaker now. Chad's turn. Oh no, you still have more.
No. I wanna disengage.
Okay.
And can I climb up?
You can. The only space you can climb up would be next to you. You can't climb up to the one where the skeleton is at. The one up to the right one, like this one right here.
Yes.
You could climb up there and then get onto the stairs, but I would make you make an athletics check for that.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to.
Okay, yeah, you move over and you try to disengage, and while you stab this guy and weakened him a little bit, and while he's kind of reeling back from the blow, you try to scramble up this wall.
Oops. Well, 7.
All right, you get about halfway up and you run out of handholds and you kind of just plop back down onto the floor.
Oof.
All right. Now it's that's going to be Chad's turn.
Chad says, "We can't be here to save your dog forever." And then he goes into a rage and then cuts right towards the closest skeleton.
Okay, the closest one, I guess, would be the one on the same level as you in the corner here. So you fly into a rage at the guy that was running at you, and you just kind of meet him head on as he gets to the corner.
All right. Can I hit him with a big old Elder Steel slash?
You certainly can try.
Does
You have +1.
15 hit?
Very nice. Did you already add in the +1 sword?
Oh yes, I did quite a deal of editing in the new item.
Nice, man. All right, you hit. He has AC 15 as well, and you hit and roll damage.
Beauty. All right. And then we add +7, so 14.
Big ol' hit of 14. You cleave one of his like boned arms off and like slice through the leather armor, and you can see that these skeletons all kind of, they look like they're wearing different clothes, and this you can tell with a little bit of like your prior knowledge that this appears to be members of the pirate crew that you came to this island with, and they have their different pirate gear and leather armor and slightly quality gear, but they all appear to be relatively of the same strength, and you hack at him and take a pretty decent chunk out of him.
Skeletal smash! And also, just to note, I'm going into a frenzy for this.
Very nice. So you make another attack?
No, because I use my bonus action to go into a rage this turn.
Ah, okay, cool. So next up, I believe, was Harper. He is still unable to act. And then the floating skull. And it turns its attention towards Wilfred, who it now is about eye level with, floating, and Wilfred's still up on the pathway above. And it's going to try to fire a blast at him. And it crits. And it
Damn!
hits Wilfred for 20 points. And Wilfred goes down on one knee, and he's looking really rough. And the skull will then float over this way and appears to turn its attention back towards the group. The axe-wielding skeleton will run over towards the stairs. No, you're still on the same level. It definitely still tries to attack you, Goldie. It takes
You can't back up! It's like chased! You can't!
It takes a cleave at you, and it hits, and let's see here. 8 damage to you.
Oof.
And then the one that was running towards the group wildly, it has a pair of daggers, and it's going to make a slash at Chad. And that's going to be a 13 to hit.
My armor is 13, so yeah.
Okay, so it'll hit with a slash, and that will do 1 damage.
Okay.
And then another 13 to hit, and this one will do 4 damage.
All right, is that half because it's slashing?
That was just the total, so if you have resistance, then you can have it. So I guess 3 total.
All right, calculator.
And then the one behind with the crossbow will back up into the corner and fire a bolt at Darrow.
I'm going to cutting words that one.
Sure. What do you say to him? You scream across the hallway.
Not today, Satan!
he like lets out a little bit of a cackle, and he 16 after your cutting words.
That's it.
Okay. He hits you for 1 second.
20.
4 piercing damage.
I guess Satan had time today.
The shambling skeleton to your right will also make a swipe at you now, Darrow. And he'll miss and just kind of smack at the ground. He's a little disoriented, and it's back to you.
Know your place, trash.
You missed him before too.
I want to poke at him again.
Okay, yeah, roll your +1
Oh, I
rapier.
can just pick that. Awesome.
Very nice. That's a big hit. So that's you stabbed it right into the skull, and you roll your damage.
It.
Con and Blitchy, how are you today? Thank you guys for
Okay,
showing up.
alright.
+2 for pantsing.
What's that?
It says +2 for pantsing. I just rolled 2 to that as well.
You should add your dexterity plus the +1 from the rapier. So whatever your dex is, +1 plus the damage die of the rapier, which I guess, what is that? A 6, a d6?
It's a D8.
A d8. So yeah, d8 plus your dex plus your +1.
So +4, +1, so 5, 13.
Very
Did I
nice.
just add that wrong? Yeah, 13.
Do you have a +5 to your dex? You have 20 dex?
Yeah, well, no, you said plus. Oh, no, you're right.
Yeah, whenever you add your dex, you
Yeah.
you just add the modifier, not the total score. So,
Yeah, my bad.
so what is the total?
+3, 11.
Okay, so you hit this thing for 11 damage, and you go straight through the skull, and you whip the skull off, and it lands in the lava pit below, and this thing has crumbled up and died.
Trash!
Wow.
Goldu is next. You watch this skull fly down into the lava pit below and sink in and char as it disappears, and it's now your turn. Long day at work.
All
Yeah,
those
same here.
stealth attack work again. When I have advantage if someone is sandwich, or only when I attack from behind him.
Anytime you have advantage on an attack, it counts as a sneak attack, even if you're not stealthed.
Alright. I wanna disengage
Okay.
and run toward the arbalist.
Okay. You have, let's see, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 right there.
Yeah,
Okay.
and that's all I can do, right?
You can disengage as an action, so you still have your bonus action if you want to take one.
Ooh, then I wanna dash
Okay.
and go behind the blue skeleton. What Chad is attacking.
Sure. Yeah, I feel you. All right, you're right there.
Nice.
Now it's big old Chadley's turn.
All right. Chad's gonna lean into the blade as he looks this skeleton into his hollowed head, and he smashes him with the Elder Steel.
Very nice. You have advantage on this attack because you are flanking this guy. Didn't even need it. You hit him with the first one. Roll damage.
Ooh, that is 16.
16. With that combined with your first smack at this guy, you stare him right into the hollow eyes, and he's just looking back at you with this blank stare and doesn't even realize it as you just crush his skull and cleave it clean off, and he's killed.
Goldu clap.
Heck. Chad!
So
And
close.
Chad will
I'm aware
use
rogues
his
can
movement
disengage
to
as a
walk in
bonus
front of
action.
that other crossbow skeleton.
Okay.
And I think I can use my bonus action, right, to smack him.
Absolutely. So Con, he used
All right,
his
I'll give him a
disengage
hit.
as a regular action and then dash
Put
as
him
a
in the
bonus
corner,
action,
baby.
which it doesn't matter. He can do it in either order, right? Like, he can do either one of those things as an action or a bonus action. All right, you rolled a 23 to hit on the
Yup.
crossbowman. All right, you got him. Show him what you got.
Oh, Chad! I do 18 damage.
Dang, son. All right. You take a big swipe at him and you hit him right in the like armored shoulder pad, and you can see that this guy has a little bit more of the quality leather armor than the rest of them.
Yeah, just roar at him, my dragon roar, but it sounds like Chad.
He looks like a skeleton, but he has been roared at.
I think he has ears. There.
What kind of skeleton hears? Doesn't have ears.
It is now Harper's turn. Harper is beginning to look very weak and calls out and like yips at Wilfred, who as Harper's bonus action, Wilfred can make a move directly to the location that Harper is at and attempt to heal him, and he will do that.
He got healing magic this entire time.
It only works on his pet because he's the like Beastmaster type of a guy.
Chad's a beast.
that's not wrong. He heals up Harper, and Harper seems to be a little bit better off. And now the skull will make its move.
Is that thing, by the way, is it just floating there? Is it vulnerable to regular attacks?
It's floating. Is it what?
Is it vulnerable to like melee attacks?
You can try to attack it. It's floating. It's about level with you guys right now. It's above the lower level, right?
Gotcha.
It's just floating in like a pool of fire. It looks like like Ghost Rider's skull just floating in the middle of the room. And it's gonna turn, and it's gonna fire a bolt at Darrow, and it will hit. And it's gonna dust you for 5 damage, and it's gonna singe into you and leave a little bit of a scorch mark on you.
Vintage, man.
Button
Watch
mash.
it.
Got marked.
Button Mash, welcome to the stream, buddy.
It's like the third fireball I've eaten today.
The axe wielding skeleton will turn and run to try to catch up to to Goldu, who it was focused on, and it makes it to about right there, and it will try to dash, and it will make it to Chad, and runs out of energy for the time being, and it's now the crossbow guy's turn, I believe. And
oh no, Chad, you're a sandwich.
he is now going to take a shot at Chad, and because he is making a ranged attack and someone is like right up in his grill, he has disadvantage, but he's flanking, so he just has normal vantage. And he's going to hit Chad, and he's going to do 8 damage. So 4 to you, I guess.
That's nothing.
Cool. It's back to Master Darrow.
Shoot the skull.
With what?
Your magic power.
Magic powers? Meta, is this skull intelligent?
How would you know?
Yeah.
It's attacked us.
It is as intelligent as needed to attack you, at least.
I guess I'd do another thunder wave.
ACDC, baby.
I'll just tell you this meta because this is something your character would know. That's like a thunder wave across the ground, and it will absolutely not hit the skull.
Okay, well, I'm not gonna do that.
Draw a dagger.
I guess I could throw my dagger. You're right. Let's throw my dagger.
All right, go for it.
It's a 16 hit.
Yeah, you hit. Roll damage.
Plus the 2 for the dex, I guess.
Yep. So
So,
you throw a dagger in, and it actually like goes into the eye socket, and the dagger just kind of is like hanging out in its eye socket, and it appears to have cracked the skull a little bit.
Did you see that, Goldo? Did I make you proud?
Nice shot, baby.
Thank you, Daddy.
It's back to Goldu.
I wanna sprint toward the axe skeleton and jump at him. Stab.
Okay. You want to like jump behind him, or where you want to go to?
In top of him. And smack down.
So you're gonna
And I stab.
jump over and stab as you jump onto him. So make an acrobatic attack roll. Make an acrobatics check and roll to attack at the same time.
20, not 20 for the acrobatic.
Very nice.
And attack.
Because of the 20 on the athletics or the acrobatics, I'll give you advantage on the attack roll. And you don't even need it. You hit him. You fly over this guy. You do a front flip, and you swing down with your amazing like magical dagger as you go, and you connect right into the top of his skull. Roll your damage.
Is it a sneak attack then?
Yeah, you'll have advantage, so you can do sneak attack damage.
Nice.
He's not only did you do this like amazing acrobatic flip, but you also are flanking this guy now.
10 plus 4.
14. All right. You stab into him and kind of cleave off the top of his skull, and he seems like extremely weakened by this, and he's just like shambling, and bones and dust are falling off of him now.
Nice.
Chad, you're up.
Kill them both.
Can I do something cheeky here, meta-wise, and just like take a step back and just take a really awkward arc swipe? Or is that just... They should probably be standing next to each other for an AoE strike.
Correct. And I was actually, I wanted to bring this up. I totally forgot about it until now.
You can
So
attack one.
thank you
and
for
attack the other, right?
reminding me of that. I was looking.
I can attack 2 with 1 hit, but it doesn't say like, if they have to touch or anything.
Hang on.
You don't have a 360 attack?
Guys.
I think they're within my range, but I don't know if they have to touch.
Hello.
That's the only thing.
All right. Let me talk for a second.
Spin 2.
Because then I could like hit them twice.
Yeah.
Can you guys hear me?
No.
Now we can.
Okay. Stop talking. I'm trying to talk to you guys. I was looking in the rules. Do you have a special ability that lets you do that like cleaving attack, Chad?
No, it just says on the weapon.
Which weapon does it say that on? Hang on.
It says it on the Warhammer and the Greatsword.
I need to see where it says that at.
Let's click like the gear.
1 second.
The gear wars. Click on the gear.
Because I was looking in the rules and I could not find anywhere where it says you could like do a cleaving attack. You know what I mean?
It just says like description up to 2 creatures within 5 feet.
Right. I don't know where that came from, but the actual like D&D rules, like there is no rule for a cleaving attack. I found a variant rule where if you are going to kill a creature, like if you're going to do enough damage to kill a creature and there's someone else next to him, you can make the extra damage carry over. But I couldn't find any sort of cleaving attack. But I like it a lot with the like great weapons, like the way that we've been doing it, because you have these like gigantic weapons. I'm gonna like home rule that into a rule of these like big ass weapons that you can do that. But I'm only going to allow you to do it like once per combat. You know what I mean?
Yeah, dude, that sounds totally fair. And honestly, it makes a lot of sense with great weapons.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. Totally.
These guys are not like directly next to each other.
Just make it sure they have to touch. That makes a lot more sense.
For sure.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, I'll just look for those opportunities. Cool.
Sounds good, man.
All right, so I'm just gonna hit the crossbow guy then, and then I'm just gonna see what I'm gonna do with my bonus attack.
Okay, cool. Yeah, roll to attack.
Oh, I'm going for an advantage. I meant to say that before I rolled, but I'll just
with a reckless attack.
If you want, if 21 doesn't count.
No, you're good, man. That totally counts. Yeah, roll your damage. You got him.
We're not talking Discord, by the way.
What's that?
I know. Yeah.
You guys can't hear me in Discord?
No, we can hear you.
You popped out for a second.
They were only talking on stream.
Oh, weird. I don't know. It must be having some issues today. You guys hear me okay right now?
Yeah, I just saw
Yep.
you like rejoin the room.
Weird. All right. Hopefully it stays okay now. You did how much damage, Chad?
I did 14.
Okay. You hit the crossbow man, and you take another big chunk out of his shoulder, and like it actually just like cleaves his arm clear off. and he's in the middle of like trying to reload this crossbow, and he no longer can. And he just like as a retaliatory strike tries to hit you with like the butt of this crossbow, and he does, and he will do 2 damage, which is blunt damage.
Okay, so that's half to 1.
Cool. So take 1 damage. He's just like swinging a crossbow with 1 arm now.
Stop it.
And I believe that's all of you guys. Harper is back in action and is going to take a leaping dive off of this thing. Oh, is it still your turn?
Actually, yeah, I still have a bonus action.
Go for it, man.
Yeah, sorry. I just want to hit him again.
Cool. Yeah, you got him.
Okay. So those 2 are 1s. So that will be 9 damage.
Cool. Yeah, you cleave him in half, and he crumples to the floor and is squirming around a little bit, and he's dead.
Ugh, gross.
All right, now you still have movement, I think, if you want to move.
Can Chad just dance a victory dance for movement?
Absolutely.
Then that is exactly what he does.
All right, nice. Now Harper will leap off the edge and make a biting attack and try to latch onto this skull midair.
He's gonna end up in the lava.
He misses and just like tumbles onto the floor and like yips a little bit and continues running and runs over and gets next to Goldu. And now Wilfred, fire another shot at the skull. This time he connects and pierces the skull for 5 damage, and it gets shocked and kind of gets tossed back and is floating further away from you guys. And then it will take its turn and turn its head and fire a shot of its fire blast back at Wilfred. And it misses.
Damn floating head.
The axe-wielding skeleton, who's looking really rough now and he's falling apart, will just turn around and take a... he will himself take a cleave at Harper and Goldu. And he hits, and he will deal 4 damage to the both of you. Harper is now looking gashed a little bit. He's back to pretty good health, but he now is bleeding out a little bit. And Goldu, you took 4 damage.
Yep.
Back to Darrow, I believe.
Can I make a jumping stab at the skull?
Absolutely.
So I roll for athletics, then roll for the hit.
Yeah. And we'll line you up so you just like run right off the edge and lunge at this thing midair.
Oh boy.
He's gonna end up in the lava.
Roll your to hit as well.
Oh boy.
Okay. So you run off and you kind of like jump off of the wrong foot, like you didn't really get a good foot to jump off of, and you don't go quite as far as you thought. And you like take a smack at this thing with the rapier, and instead of like hitting it with the piercing edge of this like curved thing, you kind of just like tap it on the top of the head, and it just like turns at you and like fire shoots out of its eyes, and you just land directly below it.
No one saw that. No one saw that.
Goldu, it's your turn.
I killed the axe guy. I killed.
Make an attack roll.
Oh no! I got disconnected from roll 20. Let me reconnect.
Okay, yeah, no problem.
You.
Just having weird connections tonight. Hopefully everything will be okay now. You back?
Yep.
Cool. Yeah, you hit him and you stab this dagger right into the back of his rib cage and just like pull it down, and all the bones just go flying, and he just disintegrates and is dead.
No blood, right?
Correct. That's just a skeleton.
You wanted money.
Yeah. Unfortunately, it just turns into a big plume of bone ash.
I take it.
You can still use your movement and your bonus action if you want.
Can I attack with my bonus action? I don't think I can, right?
You cannot unless you are wielding 2 weapons, which I don't think you are.
Nah, shame.
You can move.
Shame.
You can.
No,
yeah,
I don't know. I tried to hide, actually.
Okay, yeah, you can roll stealth. The skull seems to be watching Darrow after that athletic stunt.
Yep. 24.
And you hide behind the little fire pit on the corner there. And Chad, it's now your turn.
You're disconnected from Discord again.
I'm disconnected again?
Yeah.
Oh, that was
We
weird.
can hear you on stream, but not on Discord. It's weird.
1 second. All right, hopefully, can you guys hear me now?
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, Chad, it's your turn. Sorry about that.
All right, Chad, who definitely saw what Darrow just did, is gonna put his sword into his invisible bag, and he's gonna pull out his warhammer, and he's gonna run forward, kick jump off the wall, and try and slam the skull midair.
Okay, yeah, do the same thing. You line it up, and you're going to make an athletics check and then a attack roll.
And I'm gonna do a reckless attack for this.
Absolutely.
It's pretty reckless.
All right, so this will be the athletics check.
Sure. And you can roll them all at the same time. I'm paying attention.
And then this is the attack.
Okay, you go flying off. You kind of like bounce yourself off the wall and give yourself some leverage and run and jump. And you make it all the way, and you bring the warhammer down on the skull, and you catch it right on the back, like the crown of the skull, and roll damage.
All right. I do 12 damage.
All right, this thing gets a pretty big sized dent and starts cracking in the back of it, and the flames start shooting out of the back of the cracks in the back of the skull. And it is now Harper's turn, who is just going to run back up and try to reunite with Wilfred. And Wilfred will fire a shot at the skull. He hits, launches an arrow, and it knocks the skull down, and the skull is like kind of slowly floating down towards the floor. Its flames are starting to flicker out, and it's looking really weak, and it's Darrow's turn.
Finish him!
Can I stomp it?
Yeah, make an attack roll. This will just be a straight up D20, no bonuses. You can add your dex, but there's no weapon or anything, just an unarmed attack.
Oh yeah.
Nice. And actually you run up and you kick this thing, and it just like the fire is extinguished, and it just launches over the side and into the lava below, and it just like,
oh wait, my dagger!
the dagger somehow miraculously fell out of the eye socket and landed right at your foot.
Good boy, dagger.
And you see
the skull.
The skull is like burning, and you see the horns are the last part to fall into the lava.
Wait, did we notice anything about the skull, by the way? Sorry, tell me.
As it's illuminated and dropping into the lava, you can make a perception check. And Wilfred will also check it out, as he got a closer look now than before when you guys were out there. And Chad, you take a look at it and you say, man, I really think that skull looks familiar, you guys. And Wilfred says, that looks like a tiefling skull.
A tiefling?
It was my head! See? I told you I should have took his head. You didn't want it.
Oh, we kind of murdered it.
All right.
Died twice.
It sinks below and gets disintegrated in the lava, and you all seem to be in an empty room now. except for the corpse that is still on the altar at the top of the room.
Oh, wait, that thing ran. It ran again.
Ran? Oh yeah, I need to steal his dress again.
Chad, how are you health wise?
I'm very.
I am low.
I'll cast Cure Wounds on Chad.
Chad's
Not
cape
me.
billows.
I'm gonna cast that in slot 2.
You're going to cast Cure Wounds as a second level slot?
Yes, sir.
Cool. So it heals for 13? Is that right?
Yep.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
So, Chad, you feel invigorated as this bardic tune rejuvenates your life force, and you heal for 13 points of damage.
Touch my body.
Master Bert.
Hey, play that jam. Hey, play that jam.
And Chad
Can I
continues
have
his
a
victory
crumble
dance from earlier.
How hurt are you, Golden?
Weak.
Weak as in how? You gotta hit like one time.
Yeah, but it was big hit.
Meanwhile, I got like shot 3 times.
Oh, on a scale to 34, I'm at 20.
I'm at 15, Golden.
Yeah, but I have more HP than you.
As
Yeah,
you
I'm
guys
at
are
29.
discussing your health states, Wilfred will lean down and try to bandage up Harper a little bit, and he'll throw him a heal. And Wilfred will.
Oh, I have combat bandage.
Wilfred will apply some bandages to himself. He's looking pretty rough. He, as you guys can look at him, you see that he's pretty gashed up and doesn't look super healthy.
I use a bandage on myself. It's 1d8, right?
Correct. Yeah.
Chad, do you happen to have any more bandages?
Yeah.
How many?
I'm restored.
Well, I have 2 because I gave one to somebody.
Give it to me.
Okay.
I think you should maybe heal William.
He didn't even come down.
Who's William?
He says, "I was up here shooting the whole time. What are you talking about?"
But he didn't come down with me.
I'm sorry, Chad. Next time I will. And
So
he,
then
sa-
to
he
William
says,
out the
"Probably not,
window?"
though. But you know,
Yeah, you only say that because of the bandages.
that's true. I'm better at distance with the bow."
Are you though? I mean, you missed me maybe twice there.
He just shrugs and
I'll
pets
bandage
Harper.
your ugly burn that you got from that skull man.
He says, "Thank you," and he points at it, and it's on his butt.
Chad looks away and just does the worst job possible.
All right, roll a d8.
Roll 2d8 with disadvantage.
You like blindly just like slap the bandage on, and Wilfred just kind of lets out a little bit of a smirk, and he's like, "All right, I feel much better. Thank you, Chad." And he says, "Well, there appears to be 2 pathways, you guys. Where should we go? Seems like we're
check the
stuck
body.
down here." And you
Go
can
check
see,
the body.
as you're in this
Chad will
room,
walk up with gold. Dude.
there appears to be 2 pathways leading out of this
I'm not talking
chamber.
on Discord again.
That's the same. That looks like a bridge.
You can see there's 2 pathways leading out, and you guys want to head up the stairs. Everyone gets back up on like the main level. The skull is dead. And where do you guys want to head to?
To the body still.
Okay.
Check out that
Chad will follow.
bridge.
You all get up here, and Goldie's heading off to the body. And when you get up to this next higher level, as you pass this opening, you can see this room opens up, and there's these large pillars like covering the room, and there's some plank bridges across them. And on one of the skinny pillars in the middle of the room, you can see this large red, like, humanoid frog figure that is like this red-blooded, or like color of like a blood red frog that's standing up on its hind legs, and it appears to be holding a sword, and it's facing away from you guys over this river of lava, and it's on these pillars connected by these wooden planks. And Goldu, as you pass by it, you get up to this body, and you see that it's wearing one leather boot like you guys saw from across earlier before you came down, and its face has been removed.
Guys, I think I figured it out. I take my face away that I was still wearing.
Oh, sure.
And I put it on the body.
I go to grab the dog so it doesn't run off again.
It seems to be Hicks's body, and you have Hicks's face, and you figured it out.
I put it back on the body.
The sword didn't do it.
You see the blood from the altar where Hicks has been stabbed multiple times is still leaking out and following this trail back into the hallway behind the altar.
Can we see in the hallways?
You can see some stairs leading up, and it gets dark, and there's like a foggy haze covering any further.
Can we take a short rest?
You can certainly try.
I wanna see if I can steal some stuff from Kirk's.
From where?
The body of Kirk.
Hicks?
Hicks, yeah.
Yeah, make a investigation check.
Yes. 14.
You find another identical blue sapphire to the one you found before.
Yes. Good.
Darrow, you want to try to do a short rest? You can try to set up a little bit of a resting area if you want to do that.
It's far too hot in this place.
All right, what do you guys want to do?
I tell the huntsman to go see it's his friend Kirk.
He hears you talking about Hicks, and he sees the body with the one boot and the face that's been torn off, and he goes up and just is mortified by the carnage of this situation, and he just like talks to himself and says like, what the hell did you get yourself into, man? Like, this is not something that you would do. What the hell? And he just looks just absolutely like out of it.
Well, you know what's left to do, right? I asked the huntsman.
He just looks at you like with a puzzled look on his face.
I drag the body and I put it in the lava.
You pull the body off the altar, and it slumps over and falls off into the lava, and Wilfred just kind of says, I guess that's about as fitting a pirate burial as one could ask for.
We can't take no risks. He can come back as a zombie or a skeleton, you know?
He just like kind of like grabs his chin. He's like, yeah, I guess that's a good point. You never know. I don't know what kind of rituals they were doing anyways. Where's this blood going? Do you guys see that frog back there? What the hell is that thing? That looks a little scary.
I saw the frog. I was waiting for someone to say something about it.
Maybe he's friendly.
I don't think it's friendly.
Dude, he is smart enough to wield a weapon. Maybe we can talk to him.
Also smart enough to stab us with it, too.
Wilfred says, I know a lot about animals. Maybe I can get a closer look. What do you guys want?
Yeah, go ahead and see.
Yeah. Try to see if he's friendly.
He is going to come down, and he's going to try to make a stealth roll. And he will creep out into the hallway here, and he'll try to get a look at it. And he kind of has a good lay of the area, and he says, "Oh my gosh, you guys! I think I actually know where we are. We're close to the storerooms, and they're just on the other side of these pillars. And this frog, I have no idea what this frog is, but I've never seen a frog with a sword. So it looks a little scary.
Try
Alright, we'll
talking
talk
to
to
it.
him. Yeah. Wave at him.
He says, "I think I know a little bit of frog. 1 second," and he goes, "Bert," and he tries to rib it, and it doesn't work very well, and the frog-like creature turns around and notices you, and it makes one giant leap over onto this platform, and it will
What
attack.
did you say to it?
And that's initiative.
God damn, what'd you say, you idiot?
Insulted him. No.
Let me pull up this thing's stats really quick. 1 second.
Ultimate life from Toad. 300 HP.
All right, let me see if this will work. I don't know if you guys will be able to see my phone on the stream, but I have a picture of it.
Is it the...
This is what it looks like.
Nothing about that.
You...
It looks like that, but it has a sword in its hand as well.
Most
And
scary.
Doesn't even have pants on. That thing's disgusting.
it runs right up and makes a big biting attack on Wilfred.
What a dumbass. He bites because he has a sword.
It probably
And
has poison mouth.
it misses, and then it will make an attack with its sword.
Oh god, it's proficiency.
And it misses with the sword, and then it brings back its other claw that doesn't have a sword in it, and it will swing it at Wilfred.
What kind of boss monster?
And it misses that as well. And it just lets out a
You're
big...
lucky he's blind.
It lets out a big, like, croaking ribbit, and a puff of, like, fiery gas emits from its mouth, and then it's, let's see the initiative orders here. It looks like it's Chad's turn.
All right, Chad's gonna like jump in between Darrow and the dog, and he's just gonna kick off the wall and then kick the frog into the lava.
Straight boom right there.
You are certainly going to try. You jump, make a strength check, and it will be opposed by this creature's strength. He got a 21.
What?
Shad got outstrength by a fucking frog.
He rolled a critical.
So it you try to do that, and with one of its claws, it just like bats your arm away. And let's see.
Chad,
Yeah.
take 10 ego damage.
Oh, I already did.
You still have your bonus action, I would assume.
Frost. Spit on him, but you frost.
Yeah, he's an amphibian.
It's not a bonus.
Damn.
I will
Go in a rage.
build on my cape.
I will actually. I've never brought this up before, but you can totally use your breath weapon as a bonus action. I think that's stupid that you wouldn't be able to do that.
Yeah, it probably should be a bonus action.
Yeah,
Alright.
you shouldn't have to waste your whole
Well,
turn to do it because it's like pretty. It's pretty weak, honestly. Like
It is pretty weak.
So you should be
Alright,
able to do it as a
I'll throw
bonus.
it down. I'll throw it down. He's fire.
Random
Fire
makes a
type.
good point.
Cool.
Fire
Can
type
make him
Pokemon.
sleep.
So you blast him with the cold breath. What does that do?
Constitution saving throw.
Okay.
DC is 8 plus my con modifier plus my proficiency. Takes 2d6 on a failed save and half as much on a successful.
So what is your con mod?
My con mod is 1.
And your proficiency is +2, correct?
My constitution proficiency or
No, just your straight up. Your proficiency is
yeah.
+2, right? So your
Yeah.
DC is 11.
mm-hmm.
He got a 15, so he saved. So he takes 1d6 damage.
So it's like
actually-
I do 2d6 and he just takes
Yeah,
the half.
yeah, correct.
So
We found
have
Chad.
to.
All right, you blast him with this icy cone of cold, and he takes 1 damage, and he kind of brushes it off. His
It's not very
like
safe.
slimy amphibian like coating covering his body just seems to harden a little bit, and then it just goes back to normal.
Well, Chad tried everything.
Who was
by a
next in initiative? Goldu,
Yep.
way in the back by the altar.
Yeah. What to do? What to do? Can try to throw a dagger at him.
You could try. You would be at disadvantage. You're quite a ways away, and you'd be throwing it past all of the other people.
Or can I walk like closer? Then?
Yeah, sure.
Yes, I want to do that first. And
Okay. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. You could get about right behind the group there.
then my attack roll. Does I gain the bonus from dagger when I throw it?
Yeah, you're proficient in your daggers, so you can throw it and still get the same bonuses.
19.
Yeah, you hit. He has an AC of 14 now that you guys have tried to hit him a couple times.
1. Do I still gain the piercing damage or not?
Yep.
Then 6 damage.
Cool. You, 1 second here. Need a pen. Okay, I'm good. You throw the dagger and it sticks into him, and the like slimy coating on his skin kind of just like starts to surround the dagger, and it's sticking out of him.
Nice.
Yeah.
And I
Darrow.
wanna
Oh yeah, you still have action.
stealth.
Okay, yeah, go for it. And Goldu is trying to hide, and Darrow, it'll be your turn.
27.
Cool.
I want to heat metal. I want to heat his sword up. Will that even work? Since technically this is a sword.
Yeah, absolutely. If you read heat metal, I think it says like if the metal is being held by a creature like as a weapon, then if you just link heat metal, we'll be able to read what it says in the Roll20. But I'm pretty sure that they take damage and then they can either drop the weapon or continue to take damage every turn.
I don't even know how to link this. Jesus.
I thought you've done it before.
Yeah, I thought I did too.
That's all right. We can go to your character sheet and check it out.
I can copy for you.
Heat metal. Let me see if I can see it.
Just copy the description in chat.
Cool. Choose a manufactured metal object, metal weapon. You cause the object to glow red hot. Any creature in physical contact with it takes 2d8 fire damage. So the really cool thing about heat metal, there is no check, no save, no spell attack with this, that it just automatically happens. So you cast that, he takes 2d8, and then you can use a bonus action on each of your next turns to cause the damage again. And if the creature is holding the object and takes damage from it, they must succeed on a con save or drop the object. And if it doesn't drop the object, then it has disadvantage on attack rolls and ability checks until the start of your next turn. So 2d8, and he will make a con save. All right, and he saves and will continue to hold on to the sword, and it will do 12 damage to him.
Ben, baby, Ben.
Very nice. The sword like begins to glow red hot, and he like turns and stares at it a little bit, and just like lets out this weird croak. And then all of you at the same time, you get this telepathic like feeling in your head. And it's not in any language that you can understand, but you just get this sense of dread coming from this creature as it stares at this weapon. And it like seems to, its hand is like singeing and smoking. You can see it as it's holding it, but it doesn't drop it.
This thing is actually insane. I'm very scared of this thing.
It's now Wilfred's turn, and he is at disadvantage, but he's going to try to fire off a shot at it as close as he can. He wildly misses, and the arrow flies off, and he's going to try to run away. and he's going to take an opportunity attack as he does it, but he's going to run back off into the corner, and the creature will take a swiping attack at him with the sword, and it will
Fire sword.
absolutely hit, and it's glowing hot, and it's going to deal.
Does he get disadvantage for this one?
He gets disadvantage on attack rolls. Yes. Let's see, I'll roll disadvantage. He still hits, and he's only going to do 3 damage to Wilfred. And Wilfred runs off into the corner and takes a swipe in the back, but he makes it away.
Doesn't it being on fire or whatever do additional damage?
You can cause the object to deal damage as a bonus action. It won't just deal extra damage like at anytime it touches anything. You know what I mean?
Got you.
And then Harper is going to take a turn, and Harper's going to run up next to the frog creature and try to bite down. And critically misses and is just hanging out there. It's back to the creature, who
No.
the creature now is like emanating this psychic burst at all of your minds and just like letting out this like slow droning like croaking noise that you can only hear in your head, but all of you are hearing it. And it will bounce forward and turn its attention towards Chad, who tried this giant acrobatic maneuver at it, and it will try to bite you. And it misses the bite. It will hit you with its sword, and then it will hit you with its claw. So with its sword, it will swipe at you and try to do 5 slashing damage.
Okay.
And then the claw, it will hit you for 10 slashing damage.
All right.
And you're raging, correct?
No.
You're not? Okay. You take all that damage, and now you have to succeed on a Constitution saving throw. When the claw hits you, you feel a very strange, like, very weird psychic energy start to flow into you through the wound where the claw hit you. But it seems to pass quickly, and the frog is done. And it's back to the top of initiative.
Chad.
Yeah, Chad's turn.
All right. Well, I guess I'll go into a rage. I get excessively mad. I'm gonna still attempt to whack-a-mole this guy into the lava with a big hammer swing. If you can see the angle.
Sure. Like a golf swing.
Yeah, putt.
All right. I will allow you to make an attack roll and make a strength contest as well. So roll to attack and then roll your strength, and this thing will contest it with its strength.
All right, can I make a reckless attack?
Sure.
And then my strength.
Chad's
So
really, hammering it up there.
you swing with this big hammer and you connect, but it seems to it just takes the blow and doesn't get pushed back. But definitely roll damage.
All right, that's 16.
All right, very nice. You hit it for 16, and you hit this thing, and it like hits it like right in the gut, and it kind of like burps out another like puff of this like sulfurous smoke, and it seems to be getting a little bit beat up and weakened, but it's still like bouncing around and like croaking and like doing the psychic pulses at you guys.
Damn.
Who is up next? Is it Goldie?
Yeah, I think it's me.
All right, your go.
Can I attack him like from diagonal?
Yeah, you can.
Then I wanna attack.
Okay, yeah, and you it somehow has not noticed you, so it's been preoccupied with Chad, and you make a sneak attack, so you have advantage.
23.
All right, roll sneak attack damage. Very nice.
Just 4, 15.
Okay, you hit this thing and it starts to spew this like sulfurous smoke out of its body, and it's bleeding, and this like the slimy skin coating is like starting to like dry up, and the blood is just replacing it, and it's like oozing down its body.
Deum.
Darrow,
Uh,
or are you
can I
done?
do can do bonus attack, bonus action to throw one unit of flask of acid on him?
Yeah, absolutely.
Do I have to roll for that too?
Yeah, that is going to be 1d8.
1d8.
So like one portion of your acid that you have in that vial.
Did one.
Okay, it takes an extra little bit of damage, and you see the acid like sizzle into its skin, and the coating is gone, so it seems like it was pretty effective.
Nice.
How many of those do you have left?
6.
Okay. Now it is Darrow's turn.
Did we ever figure out the one that he gave me was the same thing?
What?
Goto gave me one last session, a vial of that red liquid. Is it the same thing?
Oh no, dude. I took the acid stuff from the huntsman we killed on the pit.
The vials of red liquid that you guys have picked up here, I don't know if you have been keeping track of those. Now that you've taken a short rest and inspected them, you see that those are healing potions.
Oh.
Totally want to drink it after this fight. I want to use my cantrip Blade Ward.
Okay.
So
you have
resistance.
Nice, very nice. Okay.
And then I'm gonna. That's one action, isn't it? I gotta get away. I'm just gonna run.
Okay, you're gonna try to dip out of there. Where you want to go to? Hey, thanks for the alert, Butchie.
Step one space away from it so it doesn't immediately attack me.
Sure, you're gonna take the opportunity attack, and it will roll.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And it got a critical hit with a slash of the sword. And it got 10, but you have resistance, so you're going to take 5 damage.
Yes.
And you've got away, and now Wilfred spins back around, and he lines up a shot and fires off a bow shot at the frog. And it whizzes past and lodges into the wall.
It's actually garbage. It's not even trying.
Harper will line up and try to bite down again and try to grasp onto the frog's leg. And connects this time. And the frog has to try to shake it off. And fails.
Shake it up.
And Harper is going to deal 6 damage to the frog. And the frog is now restrained and cannot move.
Good boy.
And Harper is just like shaking this thing's leg violently and trying to rip off the leg and eat itself some frog legs. And we are now at the frog's turn, who will try to spend its action to shake off this restraint. It fails, and then it will just stay in place and try to take a claw swipe at Chad. And let's see, 13?
Yep.
Okay, it's going to hit you with its claw and deal 5?
Since I'm raging, so half.
Okay, so is it low? It's 2, right?
I believe so. Let me just read it to make sure.
I don't know if it's rounded down or up.
It actually doesn't say.
I actually assume it's rounded up, because if they hit you with a 1, then you wouldn't just take no damage, right?
Yeah.
So you take 3.
Okay.
Vex, welcome to the stream, buddy. And when he hits you with that claw, you need to make another Constitution saving throw.
Okie dokie.
He has a poopy hand.
All right, you take this swipe from the claw, and you feel this like sulfurous psychic feeling go into your body, and you feel it like climb up the vein where it connected into you, and you feel a quick feeling of like nauseousness, and then it goes away, and you kind of are confused. Like, you definitely felt this claw like inject you with something, and then the feeling passes.
He has an alien in his stomach. I forgot to use the burning thing too. Completely forgot.
Strange creature.
It is Chad's turn.
It's pinata time. Chad's just gonna bash him with the hammer with a reckless attack, and probably
Nice.
his bonus attack as well.
Okay, yeah, roll. You can roll all of it at once if you want. 2 hits. Cool. One of those connects, and you can roll damage. It has AC 14. How's it going, Vex? Thanks for coming by, man.
And then that would be 10 damage.
All right, 10 damage. You smash this hammer down into this thing, and you like dent in its back, and it like kind of like flattens out on the ground a little bit, and it like rivets and like blasts out some of that sulfur, and it like its eyes roll back into its head, and it's kind of just like twitching there on the ground and laying. Goldie's turn.
I shall finish the full creature.
Roll to attack. All right, how do you want to do this? Describe your kill.
How can I do this? I can climb on Chad and jump and stab him on his back from above.
Very nice. You do exactly that. You jump and flip off Chad, and you drive the magical dagger into the back of this thing, and it just explodes in a shower of golden coins, and you roll your D100.
Hell yeah, baby. Nice teamwork.
You get a big old hefty sum of gold from this thing as it disappears. Chad, you feel the same strange sensation when its claw hit you, and it kind of appears again, and you feel like a weird, like the feeling when you get blood drawn, like that weird empty, like kind of dull pain, just kind of washes over you for a moment and then is gone again.
Whoa, I don't feel so good, guys. Oh wait, no, I'm okay, guys. I'm okay. It's fine.
And you slay this frog creature, and it disappears into a puff of coins. And you hear in the distance this gruffled voice yelling like, "Oh my God, lads, don't go anywhere!" And from the corner across these rickety bridges, you can see First Mate Phil runs from the distance, and he's a little bit older and portly and short and fat and kind of running towards you, and his little hound dog is running behind, and he's like, "Oh my God, I cannot believe it's you. This is the strangest day of my life." And he's running, and he stops in front of you, and he just stops, and he's breathing heavily like, "Oh my God, I've been hiding in the corner, trying not to get noticed by that strange goddamn frog thing. You must have dispatched it. Thank the gods."
Yeah, it was pretty easy.
Where'd you get the dog, dude?
This is meta, but he had it on the ship with him. It was just like the ship dog. It's just Phil's. Phil just has like a hound dog, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I remember it.
He was just sitting on top of the deck of the ship, yeah.
Oh yeah, I tried to climb on top of him.
Yeah. The dog actually remembers you and kind of runs up and starts to lick your hand, Goldie.
Very nice.
And Phil is just like catching his breath, and he's like, oh my goodness. And he turns and he says, "Wilfred, glad to see you're alive, lad. Unfortunately, I can't say the same for most of the crew. I managed to get about half of them out of here before everything started to go down. Hicks, he turned. He went crazy with Rosiel, and he got on the wrong side of things, and they killed him for it. And I just barely escaped and was hiding and hoping to pass the time until they gave me an opening to escape. There's an escape back to the docks out through the back of the cave. We've got to get out of here.
So the skeletons were the crew that we were saying?
A lot of them were, yeah. Rosiel and her cult were performing a ritual to try to summon the Lich, and it succeeded. And when that happened, the Lich's powers that turned all of the people of Chance into skeletons, the same thing happened here, and half of my crew was immediately just flayed alive, and their bones reanimated and started attacking. And Hicks, when he got back here, he tried to bargain with the summoners and tell them to spare our crew because we were on the same side as them with Rosiel, and they wouldn't listen, and things went south, and Hicks was killed, and I barely got away in order to hide for a little while.
Damn.
Through the back of the cave, past the altar, there's an escape. I don't know what's back there, but that's the only way back towards the docks.
Well,
Do you know anything about a shaman?
He says the head shaman, like the right hand of Rosiel, essentially Rosiel's underling, he was the one performing the ritual while Rosiel was doing her duties in the city. He was the one, I guess you could call him like the necromancer. He was the one leading things here, and he seemed to have killed Hicks and then started to do some sort of ungodly ritual with his body and his blood. I can't imagine it was anything good.
Oh, I want to try to show him the velvet precious grub I stole from one of the skeletons.
He laughs. he laughs and says, "Yeah, that's definitely the necromancer's garb." And
damn it!
He laughs and says, "How did you manage to get that? But you didn't get killed by that beast."
He got another set of clothes. We need to find him.
I hope we don't find him, but we need to get out of here as quickly as possible. And as he says that, almost like uncannily, like the timing is perfect, you hear this wall of groans come from the direction of the caves that you came from, and you can hear the scratching and shambling of the horde of undead that's made its way to the caves from Chance and the rest of the crew, and all of this wall of the Lich's undead army have been making their way here, and you can hear them rumbling through the caves in the distance.
Oh no!
And Phil says, "That's our sign, lads. We've got to go."
You wouldn't happen to have any healing items, would you, Phil? You know,
he says, I had to chug my last healing potion to just get into my little hiding space. I'm sorry, I don't have any. There's some laying around the caverns. If you picked them up, it's probably a good time to drink them, but I don't have any more.
I'll drink mine. How does that work?
Toss me one of those red drinks.
2d4 plus 2 is a healing potion.
I give one healing potion to Chad then.
Cool. Yeah, you guys can drink your potions, heal up, and then we'll take a quick 5-minute break, and then we'll come back to it.
Thanks.
Because Goldu wants to take one, and I'm going to go refill my water and whatnot, and then we will come back. We'll have about 30 minutes left in the stream, and we should be able to knock out the rest of this dungeon tonight.
Yep. See you in a bit.
Cool. We'll take a 5-minute break, you guys.
All right.
Okay.
All right, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. I hope you're enjoying the stream. If you are still here, thank you very much. I really, really appreciate everyone with the support for these D&D streams. It means a lot to me. This is kind of the main thing I want to do going forward, and I'm having a blast with it. I hope you guys are too. These guys are doing great to get through this first dungeon. I know it's taken a couple streams now. This is the third stream, and it took pretty much the whole thing. So 3 full sessions to get through this this dungeon, but it's been a hell of a dungeon crawl. It was a lot bigger than I anticipated, and I kind of threw a lot more at them than I imagined, but they handled it very well. They've been doing great. We're almost at the end, and I'm going to go fill up my water really quick. We'll be right back and we'll finish this thing off. So don't go anywhere. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. Really appreciate it. Sausage, you shouldn't be 3:30 a.m. We're almost done. We've got 30 minutes left in the stream. You can hang in there. We'll be right back, man. All right. Welcome back, everyone. Thank you for sticking through the break. I appreciate it. Kitsu, welcome back, dude. Hello. Congrats on the award. I hope you had a good time at your student awards ceremony. I know that stuff is super annoying and stupid sometimes, but good job. We're all proud of you, Kitsu. Welcome back. Vex, hello. Donald. It was boring as hell. Yeah, I feel you, man. I did see the picture. That is silly. Good old Trump award. What can you do? All right, welcome back, everyone. As soon as everyone is back into the old Discord and the party has returned, we will carry on in the dungeon here. We're just about finished up. These guys are doing great. They're just mowing their way through it, not stopping for nobody. And we will continue on the way. All right, is everyone back?
I am
back.
All right, just waiting on Mr. Darrow, and then we'll get started. Welcome back, everyone. How are you guys doing so far? Enjoying it? All right, welcome. I was just asking how everyone is doing so far. How's everyone holding up?
I'm permanently low health, but so far I'm not dead yet, so I'm happy.
I'm straight.
All right, so you guys got your healing potions. Did everyone roll 2d4 plus 2?
Yeah.
All right, so
I rolled two
Darrow
ones.
healed for 8. Chad healed for 4. Goldude, are you drinking a healing potion?
No, I don't need.
Okay.
I want to use my last bandage as well.
Cool. Yeah, go for it, man. Phil.
Is that 1d8?
Yeah, 1d8. Phil kind of looks around the group and he's like, "Man, you guys look banged up. It must be bad out there. I'm glad we're getting the hell out of here." And he charges forward and he says, "Well, there's only one way out, and it's through. Let's go, lads." And he
there's a shaman up there, dude.
he says, "Well,
Oh yeah, be careful, dude.
he says, like I said, there's only one way out. Let's go, lads." And he
All right, Phil.
he runs up the stairs.
Oh, he's gonna die. I'm first to loot his body.
He waits for you up there. He's not just gonna charge in alone, but he runs like he's leading the pack here.
All right, I'll follow on. How hurt are you, Chad?
I'm like just above half health now.
If you come to me, I'll cure wounds you. That's my last spell slot, though. So good job, guys, fighting.
Chad, are you gonna run up next to Daryl?
Oh yeah. Give me that good lovin'.
All right. Cast your cure wounds. Phil notices you taking a second to heal up and get everything going. And he's like, "All right, let's charge." Chad is healed for an extra 9.
Yeah, I stealth too before we charge.
Sure, roll your stuff.
Oh, that's my jam! I feel great.
All right, feeling energized. Nice music. Goldu, did you roll for your stealth?
Can't quite hear you, Sif.
You can't hear me?
We're not talking on Discord again.
1 second. It says I am. Can you guys not hear me?
Yeah, I can hear
Maybe
you.
you have like a keybind to talk on Discord and stream, you know? And interfere.
Can you guys hear me right now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Well, hopefully it works. I don't remember what I was saying, but yeah, Chad, you're all healed up. I think everyone's ready to go, and Phil says to charge in.
Let's go, baby!
All right. Everyone lines up and charges into the room, and immediately the room is revealed to you. And you see the shaman has ran back, and you can see this trail of blood that came from Hicks's body on the altar, and it raises up into this pillar of shining like blood red light that's illuminating the room, and behind it this this giant beast of like flesh that's been sewn together from this pile of dead bodies you can see scattered across the room, and this beast stands up, and the blood trail is like shooting out of this red orb into the flesh body and filling it up, and it's just this giant like fleshy ogre looking thing, but it kind of like, imagine Majin Buu from Dragon Ball Z, but just made out of like torn limbs and stuff. This giant fleshy pink blob of dead bodies and teeth and gashes and wounds, and it's pouring blood. The blood that's shooting out of this orb is like filling it up, and it's just like pouring right out of its body, and it's shambling along. And this necromancer, his staff is raised, and it like shoots a last burst of power into this red orb in the center of the room, and then it fires a blast of fire at the group in front of you and right at Phil, and that's going to be initiative.
Damn!
All right, let me know when you guys roll and are ready. Darrow, initiative.
He's shocked.
My bad. I'm like thinking about how useless I'm going to be in this fight.
The necromancer fires off a blast of fire at Phil, and it whizzes by him and singes the hairs off of the hound dog on its tail, and it kind of yelps, but it doesn't seem to appear injured at all. And then it runs back and runs behind the flesh monster, and then this strange, like skeletal, small golem-looking demon creature runs out, and it will run down and take a swipe at Phil as well. And it hits, and Phil will take 5 damage, and Phil gets a cut on his arm, and his sword drops down a little bit, and he's like, oh, lads, this is not going to be easy, and he cringes a little bit and then counterattacks with the sword and swipes at the demon thing. And he crits, and he, with one swing of this scimitar that he's carrying, lops this demon thing's head off, and it scrambles onto the floor. And he says, well, it was easier than I thought. And he like cringes and grabs his arm. And he's like, well, I don't have many of those left in me, boys. I'm getting old. Charge on ahead. Cannon. And it is now Darrow's turn.
Forward.
Gonna walk backwards and stand next to Chad, and then give him a bardic inspiration.
All right, you clamber back out the tunnel, and you play a tune for Chad to charge into the battle.
Use that tune.
Yo, Chad, you're the best. Don't forget that, Chad.
Chad, you feel extremely inspired.
That's my favorite song.
It is now Goldu's turn.
I'm still stealth, right?
As far as you know.
I want to try to go on the left, and jump from the stair.
Sure, yeah, you can jump down here.
Yeah, do I still have movement left?
It's only a couple feet of drop. You moved about 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 feet, so.
Yo, that's all I can tell.
Okay. You are hiding down on the bottom beneath this big altar where the...
Oh, I can still walk for my bonus action, right?
Yeah.
I want to dash to the other side of the stair.
Okay, where at on the map? Where do you want to be at?
Like one square on my left and 3 square on the top.
Like right there, or right?
Yeah, but still behind the stair, like not on the stair.
Okay, I feel you. So you're like on the other side, underneath still.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
Cool. Makes sense. Now is the giant flesh ogre will make its attack, and it sees where the necromancer blasted fire at, and it's just being commanded by the power like rushing out of this blood orb, and it just barrels towards the group of you and makes it to about right here. And it will rip off a hunk of flesh and throw it towards the group. And it lands directly in between Chad and Wilfred and Harper, and explodes with this burst of blood and guts. And let's see. That's a 13 to hit. That's misses Wilfred, hits Harper, and hits Chad.
Yeah.
And you take 3 damage.
Oh, what the hell?
And it is now, I believe, Chad's turn.
Faceless horror! Your existence ends now!
Okay.
Very nice.
Chad goes into a rage, and he just comes out and he whips out the Elder Steel.
Very
and
nice.
Drives it right into the stomach of this faceless horror.
All right, you run right up to this thing and just charge and stab. Make an attack roll.
Reckless attack too, and I'm frenzying.
Very nice.
We're going all in.
All right. Let's see them rolls.
25.
All right, that's a big hit. You got him. Damage.
And we got that's 7 plus 6, 13. No. Yeah.
+1. Did you do the +1 from the sword?
I meant to say 7 + 6. So is that not 13?
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
You're struggling on that math, dude?
Cool. You pierce this sword into its gut and you pull it out, and with it a bunch of guts and intestines and blood spews forth and covers you, and he seems to have taken some damage, but he doesn't really seem phased by it at all.
All right, that's my turn.
All right. Wilfred is going to take a step to the side and try to launch an arrow right at this thing's head. And he will connect. And he's going to hit it for 1d8. And he's going to do a big 5 to this thing. And this arrow will get stuck in the like flesh of this thing's head, and it's just hanging out there and kind of oozing pus and blood. And Harper is going to lunge and get right up next to you there, Chad, and try to make an attack as well. And he will try to latch onto this thing. And he connects. And Harper deals 2 damage and bites onto this thing's leg, and it has to try to shake him off, which it does not. So the flesh beast can no longer move until its next turn. And it is now back to the necromancer, I believe, who will take a second and wave its staff around, and it empowers this blood orb that shines a little bit brighter, and it will shoot a bolt of fire back towards the group, and it misses and flies over Chad's head just barely, and it's back to the top of the order, which was Darrow.
I'm so afraid to do anything. I guess I'll walk up behind Chad.
Okay.
They have more movement. I have one more. Can I get on the? Can I jump down what Goldel did?
Yep. You're down there.
I guess that's it.
Okay. After you was Goldu?
Yeah, it was Goldu, then the Flash Beast, then it was Chad.
Okay, cool.
Was it Flim? Not sure. What I do an investigation check on the.
Phil is standing there and he's still clutching his arm and he's like just breathing heavily. He's not going to take a turn.
Oh. If I wanna inspect the red orb in the middle, is it investigation or perception?
Yeah, investigation.
14.
You see that this like black stone pillar comes up out of the ground, and it looks like it was not always here. It was kind of placed here recently. You can see the cracks in the earth and the dirt sticking out where they must have dug up a spot and placed this pillar, and this red glass orb seems to be sitting on top of it, kind of just like floating there with this red glowing blood energy shooting blood into the beast.
Can I see how resistant it is from my roll?
No. How would you know?
Then I wanna go behind the skeleton if I can and attack him.
The necromancer. Okay, you kind of make a little bit of a sneaky little flourish while he's like focused on attacking and empowering this blood orb, and you sneak up right behind him.
Nice. Then I'm gonna attack.
Okay, go for it. Roll attack.
25.
That's a miss. No, you got it. You got it.
You. 10 plus 4, 13.
13, he gets a big old stab in the back and he like screams out in terror, and this like magical energy shoots out from his staff, and you see the orb start to flicker a little bit when he's not concentrating on it, and he takes a big chunk of damage and starts to bleed.
Very nice.
And you can see that this shaman who you saw before performing these rituals and doing this stuff with those symbols, you can see he's wearing these black robes now, and they have those same symbols on them. And what used to be like this floating skeleton is now has flesh and bones. And you can tell from the way he's standing and some of his movement and his staff, it's that same magical being as before, but he now has flesh and bones.
And a new robe, right?
Yeah, somehow he got this badass new black robe.
I want to tell him that his robe is mine.
He cackles and just like starts speaking some unintelligible, crazy language at you.
I flick him the bird.
He does the same to you. And it will be the flesh beast turn who will, let's see, take a large swipe across at Harper and Chad. And he will miss Chad and hit Harper. And he's going to do... This is going to be bad. He's going to do 12 damage to Harper, and Harper is knocked across onto the floor over here and is knocked unconscious and is into death saving throws.
Oh.
No, puppy!
And immediately when Harper is knocked down, Wilfred makes a bonus like opportunity attack straight at the beast, hits, and will deal 7 damage. Another arrow in the head, and this thing drops down, and it's starting to ooze more and more pus and blood than before. And it's now Chad's turn.
Now's your chance to save your dog. Chad's gonna go and drive the Elder Steel once more into the stomach region.
Very nice.
Of this abomination.
Make your roll.
Oh yeah, reckless attack as well. 20.
You got him. You see now that he's very easy to hit. He's a giant flesh beast. His AC is 8.
Oh, well, feels good. I'm going to roll for damage then.
Go for it.
All right, that is 14.
Cool. You slash into this thing's gut again, and you almost feel the sword like poke through the other side, and you're like hollowing this thing's out, and its guts are just spilling out onto the floor. And when that orb flickered, when the necromancer took damage, you saw the stream of blood was interrupted for a moment and didn't like empower him quite as much, and he seems to be taking damage steadily now.
All right, and I'm gonna try and make another eye hole in his stomach for this jack-o'-lantern I'm creating. And I'll use my bonus action with my frenzy to hit him possibly once more.
Very nice. And you do connect. Roll damage again. Very nice.
And that will be 16 damage.
Take a big old chunk out of him, and you've pierced all the way through. This thing is a fleshy zombie donut now.
Chad's getting a little hungry, guys.
Damn, dude.
Now that Chad has gone, I believe it is down to Wilfred's turn, and he is going to make this crazy leaping jump and try to save Harper. And Harper's going to make a death saving throw and passes. So I don't know if we had to do these before yet.
You explain like really quickly.
Yeah, really early, yeah.
So if you get knocked to 0 HP, the ways that you can die in this game, if you take damage equal to your HP while you're at 0, or like enough damage that would take you to like negative your HP. So if your total HP is 20 and you would take enough damage to go to negative 20, you just instantly die.
Yep.
If you get knocked to 0, then you have to do 3 saving throws. So on your turn you can roll, and if you get above a 10 you get 1 pass. If you get below a 10 you get a fail. If you get 3 fails you die. If you get 3 passes you live.
Interesting.
If you get a critical 20 on a saving throw, you will like wake up and you'll be okay. If you get a critical fail you will lose 2 of your fails instead of 1.
Nice.
So Harper passed the first saving throw, and it is now, I believe, back to Darrow.
All right.
No, it's back to the Necromancer, actually. I apologize.
No.
He will fire a blast over to Chad, who is attacking his flesh beast. And he misses, and then he spins around and fires a giant ray of this black energy right in Goldu's face. And that misses as well somehow. It's Darrow's turn. And Darrow, you jumped down here and you landed next to this body that you can see a strange wooden object sticking out of the side of this body.
Can I touch it with bonus action?
You can interact with an object for free. You lean down and you see that there's like a light crossbow sticking out of this body.
I take it.
You take it.
Can I check for arrows? Do you need arrows?
Bolts for a crossbow, but yeah, there's like a pack of them sitting there.
I take bolts.
You got it.
I'm going to use my fancy orange rock that I conveniently forgot that I had.
Oh yeah.
Use the amplify.
Okay.
Which gives me psychic damage for 1 minute on melee attacks.
Okay, very nice.
That's an action, so I'll sprint as close to the flesh pile as possible.
Up the stairs?
Well, just walk, I guess. Yeah.
All right, you got up to the top of the stairs, so you're on the platform with it, and you feel psychically empowered by that orange dragon crystal. And it is going to be Goldu's turn.
I stab the necromancer again.
Go for it. Roll to attack.
13.
13 does hit. His AC is 13, so you just barely hit him.
Nice.
And he turned around to fire that death beam at you, so you stab him in the gut and deal your damage.
7.
Cool. Yeah, you stab him, and he immediately just starts pouring blood, and he is bloodied, and his bloodied reaction, he fires off another beam at you. And it misses.
Very nice.
Over to the flesh beast, who will now make a big sweeping attack at Chad.
And it has advantage too for this attack.
Oh,
that was reckless.
Thank you for tracking that. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
It 21. It's gonna hit and do. Let's see. It's gonna swipe at you for 8.
All right. So that's half because I'm raging.
Okay. And let's see. That's its turn.
Alrighty then. I think that's my turn.
Yep.
So Chad is going to try and make like a Mike Wazowski out of this guy. So he's going to try and use his first slash to kind of carve in a little like half moon. And then his second attack, he's going to try and complete it and then have its chunk slide out and fall down the stairs.
Okay.
So here comes the first attack, and it's reckless.
Very nice. That's a hit.
And the damage is, I think that's 19.
19. All right. You carve a huge chunk out of this thing, and it almost itself wobbles over and falls down the stairs, but it barely catches itself with one of its giant Frankenstein arms on the top of the stairs.
All right. And now for my bonus attack to complete the cut, take out the chunk.
That's a hit.
Sweet.
Oh my god.
It's another 19.
maximum damage possible. You carve this thing and it just collapses and it rolls down the stairs in this bloody heap, like a rolling tire, just rolls down, rolls past Phil, and it lands at the bottom, and it's just like carved up into this like mash. And let's see, 1 second.
Mashed potato.
It lands at the bottom, and you see it.
Explode.
This blood just pools up from it, and then the orb like lights up a little bit, and it reassembles and stands back up from the bottom of the stairs and turns around to face you.
Obviously.
I think we have to kill the guy. Wait,
Or maybe we have to kill the necromancer and not the zombie.
can we just hit the...
Smash
Just hit
the
the
tower.
It is now Wilfred's turn. He is going to again assist Harper and make a death saving throw with advantage this time. Whew. And that's a fail.
Uh-oh.
So
Hopefully you don't die.
Harper's laying there trying to get resuscitated, and Wilfred is attempting to trying to keep him stabilized, and he's not having a great time with it, and he's preoccupied. And it is back over to Darrow.
Highly doubt I have enough strength to break that, so I'm just gonna go walk behind Necromancer Man.
All right, you're right behind him.
I'm gonna
Stab
poke
him.
him.
You have advantage on this attack, so go ahead and roll your attack twice.
Disgusting.
An 8 and a 12. His AC is 13, so you stab at him, and he it kind of just brushes through his awesome robes and appears to miss.
I was just kidding, Goldo. Your turn.
It
They want
is,
to take your glory.
it is Goldie's
I
turn.
show him what it is. I stab.
And that's going to be a sneak attack as well, and advantage
Yeah.
on your attack.
Oh, not 20.
Nat 20. All right, roll a double damage sneak attack. This is huge.
6d6.
Yes, sir. That's big.
Plus 4, 27.
He's the most dead thing imaginable. How do you do it?
I cut his head and then I football shoot him above the tower.
All right, you
And I take his robe too as a bonus action.
in one like amazing swoop, you drive the dagger through his neck and pull on the top of his head and his robes at the same time and separate the two, and you whip his robe over your shoulder and like punch the top of his head over the tower, and it's just amazing. He's dead, and you can roll your gold dice. Gold.
Yeah, just adding the robe in my inventory.
Oh, go for it. Yeah, it's it seems to be a black silken robe,
Yes.
and you can roll your D100. Boom, very nice.
79.
All right, and it's back over to the flesh beast, who will now he kind of wedges himself in here somehow, and he makes a big cleaving strike on all three of you in here, and that's a nat 20.
Chad!
Kill the crystal.
And he hits for 14 damage to the three of you. Phil takes the big hit, and he gets knocked prone onto the ground, and he's breathing super heavily, bleeding out, and he yells at you all like, "This is my last this is my last stand, guys. You got to get rid of this guy. He's gonna kill me." And the dog takes a big gash and seems to be bleeding as well and panting heavily, and lets out a yelp and starts to try to run down the hallway to the back.
He abandoned his master, bad dog.
It's
and that's obviously half by rage, right? It's like a slashing attack?
yeah, exactly, slashing.
Okay, good.
It is now back to the top of the Chad.
It's me, yeah.
Yeah, Chad after the
Chad
monster.
Is gonna
Try to
if
break the crystal.
if I try to break the crystal, then it's just gonna get a free attack on me if I leave its range. So then it's just like if
I
we
can
have to
cutting
kill it again
words it.
anyways, and the crystal doesn't insta kill it, then
You can go in a defensive state.
It's true.
dodge.
Yeah.
You can use your action to dodge, but then you won't be able to use your action to attack anything else. You do have bonus attacks with your rage, though, correct?
Yeah.
So you don't even have to dodge. You can just disengage as an action.
Okay.
Which means you can step away without taking an opportunity attack, and then as a bonus action, you can use your frenzy attack, I believe, right?
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
And this, I'm not trying to like help you. I just your character would know their abilities, right?
Yeah. No.
I imagine that's what you wanted to do. So
that's exactly what I needed. Yeah. So yeah, definitely, I want to disengage without having him provoked. And
Okay.
then I want to smack that gem.
So you
as hard
move
as I
right up
can.
to the tower, and you see that this tower is probably about 8 to 10 feet tall. With a big arcing swing up, you could probably get close to hitting it if you want to try. Make an attack roll.
All right, I'll try my hardest.
You hit it. You actually knock this crystal across the room, and it shatters on the wall, and it's broken. The trail of blood leading to the like flesh golem has dissipated, and the thing starts to just leak this blood and pus onto the floor, and it looks like it's extremely weakened now. And it is it's going to be Wilfred's turn, and he's going to try to help Harper take a death save again. And that's a success. And so that's 2 successes, 1 fail. He's starting to stabilize. And it is back to Darrow.
We shall
Can I
slay
make
the
it
beast.
into attack range.
Phil is scrambling on the ground, trying to crawl up the stairs, bleeding out of his side, and he says, "Kill this beast."
Oh, shut up, Phil.
No, you.
No, you.
Yeah, you can
moved
get
into
into range
attack.
if you move. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. You're right up on him.
I roll a poke.
Roll to poke.
I fail poke.
Percy's fat ass.
You have advantage because I'm going to count this thing as essentially weakened state. You hit him. His AC is only 8.
Oh, good God.
Roll damage.
That's the normal damage.
So roll your damage and then add your amplified damage on top of it from the dragon crystal.
Dragon bow hole.
Isn't it? Is this 3?
Amplify. Let me see.
Yeah, 3d8 physical.
I don't remember. Whatever it says in your description that I sent to you.
Yeah, for extra next minute, all the melee attacks deal extra 3d8 psychic, my bad. Psychic.
Cool. Yeah, go for it. Nice. You pierce your like curved rapier into this thing's center, and this like blast of like the amplified psychic energy travels from your crystal through your arm into the sword, and the corpse of this like flesh golem just explodes and covers the entire room in gore and blood and refuse, and it's destroyed.
Saber laser.
Whoa, that kill something.
I know, it's crazy, right?
You
I
got
it.
the boss killing blow. Very nice.
Can Chad go and use the help action for the dog?
Absolutely, yeah. You run down the stairs and you're down here with Wilfred, and now that there's no combat going on and you all are around, you can make a medicine check if you want to try to stabilize the death saving throw creature.
Okay.
I want to do a height 5 to Daryl.
You guys both meet back up
Air high
on here,
five.
and you high five. And Phil has been
Yeah.
stabilized as well. He takes a moment to collect himself after no longer being in danger.
High five Phil for one-shotting that one thing, because who knows what that thing was going to do.
That was pretty clutch. Chad rolls a 12, and you have stabilized Harper, and Harper seems to wake up and be a little groggy and out of it, and kind of his eyes are glassed over a little bit, and he's super confused. But Wilfred kind of like grabs him, and they walk upstairs together, and he's starting to get his bearings a little bit. And he says, "Yeah, that was a close one, boy. Thank you so much for your help, Chad. Guys, I'm sorry I couldn't be more help during that battle. You know how it is. I had to help my boy."
Chad
Sure.
just
Don't
shakes
worry.
his head, disappointed. He literally just healed his dog while he spent like half the fight not
Right.
helping, trying to heal his dog.
Slapping people into walls and stuff.
Phil has regained himself, and he says, "All right, guys, behind the throne is the escape. Let's get the hell out of here."
There's
Another
nothing
question.
left in the room.
Could we have just shot that stone?
Now that you killed it, do you guys want me to tell you?
Yeah.
The stone had 1 AC, 1 HP.
God damn it.
Just
Yeah.
Anyone could have killed
any damage to it would have disrupted its effects. Yeah.
Throw a rock.
I should have just hit it.
My purpose was a
I actually
necromancer.
would have hit it.
You still would have
Yeah.
had to kill both of the enemies, but it would have made it a little easier. But you guys did it the hard way, and I'm proud of you for not dying.
There is nothing else in the room.
You can investigate if you want.
No, I mean we can see the left and right. There's
I'm
wall.
gonna go
Those
loot
are
those bodies.
they're just walls. There's no other exits from the room.
I'm
Oh,
gonna
right.
loot. I'm gonna loot the body. The
Which
the
one?
one that's in the fetal position.
Can I gather the piece of the crystal that got smashed?
You see it's on the ground and it's just turned to glass, and there's just a pool of blood under it. Darrow, you're gonna check out this body down here.
Yep.
Okay.
Because he have no pants. Is that why?
Exactly. You
Uh,
know me well.
You find 14 gold pieces, and you find a small ruby.
I need to check the other body then.
Which one?
The one on the top right.
Top right. You see that this appears to be actually someone that looks like you see. They look like one of the guards from the pit.
No.
Like maybe they were a worker at the pit and they escaped in the chaos, and they kind of joined up with this clan of people in the caves, and they were killed by the necromancer. And you search the body, and you find one of those rods that the guards were using at the pit to like force blast you guys back when you were acting up in the slave pits.
Isn't that jerk that shot me?
You can't tell. He's been like just desiccated, and parts of his body have been cut away to
Rust.
form the flesh beast. But you take that force rod from him, and you have that now.
Can I
Chad
try?
check the body, the other one.
Okay, there's one body left in the bottom corner, and Chad, you find a pair of like these strange looking like leather bracers on it that you can't really tell what's going on with them. They just seem like leather bracers. And then you also find 50 gold pieces.
Whew!
They're stealing my gold.
There is no gold here. Dang it!
I wanna try the force, the road,
Don't even look at that.
to that road.
You're gonna try to do what?
You know what?
Use the road of power.
So
I'm
Darrow,
gonna
you're
pull out my stone at the same time.
Darrow, you're looting this corpse, and you just all of a sudden get blasted into the wall, and you look over, and Goldie was just like standing there, like smirking and giggling to himself.
Piece of shit, I'm gonna stab you. I still
Does he
amplify
have
on. I'm running
charges?
over here. I still have amplify on one shot you, I swear.
Yeah, you probably would one shot him actually, and You guys are gathering your things, and Phil says, nice of you to loot the corpses of my former crewmates, but it's time to go.
I mean,
This
Some
guy was on the
complaining-
pit.
and he's like, no, I get it. It's a pirate's life, right? You gotta do what you gotta do. But
I'm no pirate.
you hear
Yeah.
the groans of the horde of undead coming from behind in the caverns, and Phil's like, again, there's our cue, and he just like starts to head towards the exit, and you can see that there's a tunnel carved out behind this throne.
Yeah, Chad wants to get out of here before these
Time
guys
to
turn
go.
to zombies.
Chad, you run up and not the dead body. Chad, you run up and head behind.
Turn into a zombie, dude.
He's trying to escape.
You head up and run behind Phil as well, and Wilfred and
I
Harper
have a mega
follow.
question.
Yeah,
Does it have charges, the road?
you have no idea.
Damn.
I step into the middle, and before I go, I raise my rock and blast Goldo back.
Yeah,
into the wall.
right. He also gets blasted back into the wall, and his
And I flip in the bird.
he stands up and what do you do?
Hey, he loses charges.
I have one charge left.
All right, Goldie, you climb back up, and you're all in the middle and following Phil out of the cave, I
Get out
assume.
of the cave.
All right, you come up to the door here. 1 second, and you emerge from this cave. You see these stone doors that Phil just presses the lever and goes out, and you can see sunlight for the first time in like at least a
Century.
day now. You probably have been in this cave for close to 30-40 hours, and you see the sunlight, and you step out, and you are on this mountain pathway on the cliffside on the other side of the mountains, and you've passed through, and you feel the like sea breeze hit your face for the first time in weeks, and you like breathe in the salty air, and Phil just breathes it in, and he seems like he's energized, and he's like de-aged like 10 years, and he turns around, and he's like holds up his scimitar, and he points it out, and he says, man's ruin this way, and he points towards the ship that you got into town on, and it's down the pathway a couple miles, and you can see it at the dock, and that's where we're going to end it tonight.
Freedom!
Chad's surprised it's still there.
Yeah, why did you see the boat? Very strange.
Well, Hicks was dead, so he didn't captain it.
Someone else would take the boat.
Well, Phil told you earlier that he sent the rest of the crew out as fast as he could, and the remaining ones are probably waiting for you at the boat, is what he would say.
Or
It's
dead.
true.
You'll never know. Well, until next
I
week.
mean, maybe.
We're gonna call it a day there. You guys did a fantastic job. I hope you had a wonderful time.
Oh no, I just realized it's a ghost ship.
Oh no, another trap.
Yeah, no.
And the ship starts to fly away as you watch it. No. Yeah, we'll return next week, and we'll start right from where we left off. You guys killed it. We're done with the first dungeon. The Cultist Keep has been conquered. Nobody died. I'm amazed.
Heck yeah.
That was
trying.
That was awesome. You guys did a great job. I'm super excited that it went so well. And starting next week, we're gonna get into the shit with this story. It's gonna actually start to like make sense and unveil itself. And I think after next session, we will be at the point where you guys will pretty much be like cut loose and be able to do whatever the hell you want. So get through another heavy story exposition stream next week. But there's still going to be some good action. But and then we're going to cut you guys loose, and we'll see how you do when you just have all the choice in the world. So thank you guys for playing tonight. You did awesome. I'm super excited about it. And everyone, tomorrow night we are going to be building the main character with Donald for our new campaign starting next week. So tune in tomorrow to see David Baldoff, the Knight of Fate, the custom class that I created for this new campaign. We're going to be working on that tomorrow, and maybe playing some games as well. I'm not sure, but we'll be live the same time as always. And that's going to be it for today.